All right, being 6 o'clock, I'd like to call the July 16th meeting of the Charter Review Committee to order. At this time, first order of business, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. If you can join me.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Okay, as everyone just heard, we'll skip the minutes. Actually, it was a first thing, public comment, I'm sorry.
We moved to
I don't believe there's anyone looking for public comment at this time.
Well, ask, we have Mr. Bernardo and Mr. Abbott are both.
Yeah, that backwards either way, so, who's up there? Mr. Donato, Mr. Abbott, any interest in public comment here on anything we're gonna speak to tonight, or anything that you might have on your mind?
I don't, thank you, though.
Okay, sir. All right, seeing nothing, the next thing is minutes. I have that out of order, I apologize, but minutes will be brought into us during the course of the meeting, and we'll review those. And if appropriate, everyone's comfortable, we'll approve them as we before we complete the meeting. So that really puts us into the meat and potatoes of the meeting. This will be another attempt to continue to finalize the document we hope to bring forth to town meeting. This is a very recent rendition. It's the newest rendition. It's a couple days old. I know it's been a sort of a tight schedule for everyone to get through it all 100%, but we may be able to accelerate that this evening and work through it and address any concerns anyone has, any admissions, any corrections. So at this time, I'll turn it over to either Len. Len was hugely instrumental in getting this down on paper, as was Mr. Bolton. So let's go over it here in the next over the course of the meeting here and see if we can't get this document to a place where we'll be comfortable to get the next stage and start talking about articles and the schedule for getting it on fall town meeting if we get into the July 30th to August 9th time slot. So with that, Len, if you want to catch everyone up as to what you and Steve took care of over the last week, I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, we just basically took that. The reorganized charter and went in and filled in all the stuff that was voted on. And at Steve's suggestion, we put things into the charter, like where we took out the section on the DPW, we put it into place in the charter where if it's not passed by town meeting, that's essentially all we have to do is change the color of it, and then it'll sit there. So I think that you know, we went through and I feel like, as I said in my email to you guys, we did a pretty good job of catching everything. There may be a here or there, but I think all in all, and of course we fixed the coloring to be able to distinguish the ads from the deletions. So that's what we did.
If you have anything to add to that, Mr. Bolton? Justin, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Lance.
And then we have the other one. Thank you very much.
No, I think Len summarized it. So what we have here is basically the document showing every change that this committee voted on, reordered per the order that the committee has voted to follow. And the only other change that was made as part of the process of putting this all together was per the committee's vote last meeting, where we agreed to add the definition town meeting in and make sure that we distinguish between representative town meeting members as being the individuals who are part of the body, and town meeting being the event of town meeting itself. We made sure that throughout the document, it was clear which one you were speaking of as we were looking at, because we had our existing charter uses them interchangeably and sometimes it can be unclear. So for example, when there were instances about reporting to town meeting, we assumed that that was reporting to the town meeting members, because you report to members. You conduct things at the physical event, that was just town meeting. We also consider the fact that there are many instances when you are still reporting things to town meeting members, not at town meeting, but you are reporting to them at their caucuses or at the preview night or at other instances, through the COPC. So we wanted to make it clear that anytime someone was reporting something, it was being reported to the body, to the individuals. Because that was to make it clear that it needs to be done and it needs to be done in whatever the appropriate time frame is. So for example, when people present their articles, they'll be presenting them, they have to provide them to town meeting. They'll be provided in the fashion that town meeting ultimately decides, that the representative town meeting through COPC decide how to do it. Whether that be at a presentation night or at caucuses or through the COPC. But we wanted to make that clear.
All right, very, very good. So going forward here tonight, I wanted to, I will get to the minutes in a short time, unless you want to
Okay.
use the minutes. Do we need the minutes to
No,
add to
let's
any of
just
the
go get-
articles?
I think we should just get them out of the way, it's just a vote.
All right, I don't know if anyone has taken a moment to, look at the minutes that we just brought in. I know she sent them, over the email about a week ago, but,
I haven't seen anything from me.
you can take the, meetings of, the minutes of June 18th first.
Well, would you find?
I think we have a scandal on our hands.
Why?
We got a,
With the page
Mr.
8 of the July 2nd minutes.
Oh, we're on July.
page 8,
Minutes.
losing trouble. Page
Danny
5.
Costello, oh my goodness.
There you go, geez, that's gonna add to the room, Michelle, you're gonna get me in hot water with my wife.
I'll make
That is too funny.
Okay,
Well, who left? Did Al Costello leave or did Betty Cavaco leave? Or did they both leave together?
Or how do we know they're different people?
Have you ever seen the two live in the same room?
All right, so I'm gonna have to at least, request,
I believe that was Ms. Kabak.
change, or a correction at least in that page.
Do we need, other than that, can we have one motion to accept both of them?
Sure. If you
The motion to, I'm sorry,
Can we have a motion to accept both of
We have.
them?
oh, yeah, well, is it discussion or are you gonna make a motion?
no, discussion.
Okay, so we have a motion, Mr. Pizer, both sets of minutes or?
No, she's gonna have a discussion.
Before I do that,
Yeah, let's.
Oh, I was gonna wait till it, okay, we can do it prior, that's good, go right ahead.
Okay. So June 18th,
Okay,
on page 2. In the paragraph where my name starts there. That first sentence was confusing to me. And so I would like to make a suggestion to improve the understanding of it. And that would be to take the comma out, to delete the comma after executive branch. And put it after exists.
Are you talking about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th paragraph?
Yeah, Martha Votrain would like
Oh,
to
I see
see
it.
the executive branch as it currently exists, comma.
I got you.
The town moderator moved back into the legislative branch, comma. And she has a concern with chapter 4 elections.
So just remove that one comma.
No,
Remove the comma after branch,
Oh, I'm sorry.
And move it down to exists.
yeah. Delete the words and with.
Thought it was actually with state, I thought it was the word and that was deleted. Oh, no, you're right, I apologize. No,
Okay, it's confusing.
No,
I
no,
worked on it a little bit
Yeah.
too.
you're correct.
Comes to see.
So, and then after legislative branch, comma. And she has a concern with chapter 4 elections.
So we're just.
I
we're
got it
just-
all.
You got that, Michelle? Thank you.
And then further on in that same paragraph. Talking about Steve, he further. And I wondered if we might use the word opined rather than explained. That the moderator is part of the executive branch. And that kind of fits in with later on in the minutes at the top of page 3. Discussion ensued over the moderator's position. So I would recommend deleting explained and replacing it with opined or some word like that.
I apologize, Martha. Where is the explain that you want?
In the
Up here, under your Steve Bolton, right?
Correct. I was,
Explain becomes opine.
I would say, I understand. Ms. Votrich, I would say suggested.
fine.
Suggested, okay.
Mhm.
And then you carried over the top of page 3. What was that in regards to?
Well, no change there. It just, then the change that we just talked about, we're gonna use the word suggested. To me,
Okay.
that fits in with what follows at the top of page 3. And it is what I recall. And it is what I recall, the discussion being.
As I said, the text is essentially right. So you just wanted to change a few words to make it a little bit. To reflect exactly what, oh, and okay, that's
Right.
fair. All right, does anyone else have any items they'd like to address prior to making a motion on the June 18th and or July 2nd minutes? Seeing none, is there a
If
motion?
that is, with those changes,
With the-
I move that we accept both June 18th and July 2nd minutes.
Oh, I have sorry, yeah, on July 2nd, you want me to
Yeah, sure.
mention that? So, on the second page, the second sentence, Lawrence Kaiser reminded the committee members, so delete the word that.
The first that,
And I also, on the first page, public comment, the last sentence. I'm confused about using the word subcommittee. Because, doesn't a subcommittee not have to be only less than a majority, and you have to have minutes for a subcommittee? Somebody was talking about that before. But and then it followed with all are invited to attend, but how could all of us attend
I think that
the
meant,
work?
no, I think that meant the whole, everyone, the world.
I think you could interchange that word subcommittee with working group. I think it was just a loose group that was getting together and going over some things, and I think everyone was invited, but I always thought it was an open invitation, anyone wanted to participate.
Oh, and I did understand that.
Yeah,
Now what I'm talking about is. It can't be, a working group, am I right, cannot be a majority of the committee, has to be less than the majority, so it could only be 4 people in our committee of 9, is that right?
Well,
A working,
actually, no, because as long as they're not deliberating, they can do things to work together to create something. You can.
and there were no votes taken either. Vote, is that mandated if it make a difference if you're voting or not
Or
voting?
even deliberate,
Yeah,
even if you're making a deliberation on something that will ultimately
Discussing the
decide.
positives, the
Right.
negatives, the
Well-
consequences.
No, but that's working to present a document that will ultimately be discussed. You can do that, but regardless, we've never had a situation in which we had more than 4 people.
what was the last word you
Right.
used?
We've never had a situation in which we've had more than 4 people
Right,
attending any of these work.
no, that is true,
So.
but we should be careful,
So,
if
but
that, what's
I thought we
the,
were cautioned
what's the
to
correct
not
word?
have a more
I
than
think
4
working
people.
group is
Where would we
perfectly
at?
appropriate.
So you wanna change subcommittee in that paragraph to work?
I would say to.
I'm sorry, Martha, what were you?
I thought we were cautioned by town council when she first came. Did she come to one of our first meetings, or am I remembering it for the charter commission?
I don't think she attended any of our earlier meetings, we might have gotten some instruction on open meeting.
Or Kelly,
We will.
town
Kelly.
clerk, may have said that
For my.
what I would consider working committees.
Early on, when I joined committees, I had to take the open meeting law training on the website. And my understanding is we could all get together. But as long as we don't vote on anything or make any discussions, they don't recommend you doing it because you just don't know, but.
Hard to.
Right, but basically, it's the real issue is about whether you make any decisions, have any votes. You know, that's what I understand as being the open meeting law.
Yeah, but as long as there's less than a quorum.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah, I think that's a cutoff too,
Right.
you're never in any hot water if you keep it below a quorum.
Regardless of whether you call it a working committee, a
Right.
subcommittee. So then I guess all are invited is confusing to me.
Well, like I said,
All are
I
invited
I
to
might
be
have,
part of the
I'll admit I used the wrong word, we shouldn't have been calling it a subcommittee, I thought it was more of a very loose working group. And I honestly think in order for this thing to go through town meeting, I really wanna advocate for a sort of united front, so I want everyone to participate, so I might have said that offhanded, all are invited to attend, but, it's true, the more that came, the easier the work would have been, so.
But we can't have more than 4, is what Larry is saying, right? At a working committee or something.
Well, I'm gonna ask, I'll ask the present town clerk not to put, one of our members on the spot. To find out if we were in violation or not.
No.
Oh, I'm not charging you
Yeah,
at
we
all,
weren't-
please understand
We
that.
weren't in violation,
Right.
and.
But I guess to her question, if 7 of us showed up, would we have been, is that, I think that's her.
It would have been sticky.
Well, that's,
Okay,
But when my memory of that statement was that this was open to the public. Rather than open to, just the other 6, 7 members.
oh, it was a working committee, working on what you've talked about,
Right,
that was open to the public.
yes.
I didn't understand that, I will say that,
okay,
because it wasn't, who knew about it?
Okay, if we changed after the hyphen to open to the public, would that?
I'm not really making a suggestion for a change, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I was just wanting information.
Yeah.
right, well, and I'll get some definitive information, but we'll leave it as it is now, as long as it doesn't put us in any hot water. All right, so that being said, now, June 18th and July 2nd.
My
quickly.
9th attempt,
We have,
but this one's gonna take, I moved out, we accept the minutes as amended. From June 18th and July 2nd.
okay, Mr. Kaiser makes the motion, Mr. Bolton seconds the motion. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, we'll take the vote. Mr. Bolton.
Is there no one online?
Someone said Betty was gonna be there. I
No,
don't see
Betty's
it.
not there. The only people there are.
If that's the case, we could
We can
do
do
it
it
by
by roll
hand or
present.
roll, we don't need to do a roll call.
Oh, if you can do that by show of hands, and we don't violate high format.
If we're all present, then there's no violation.
All right, so by a show of hands, all in favor of the motion, I see unanimous vote on both sets of minutes. There's no, can't be any no votes, no abstentions, so we're all set, Len, 5 in favor. All right, so, getting back to this document. And, it's just a suggestion, I don't know if we want to go through it page by page, or if someone has gone through it and has some suggestions, some changes, some questions, we can do it like that. What's the pleasure of the committee?
Maybe we just go through chapter by chapter and ask if people have a comment on anything in any particular chapter.
That's a fine way,
Does that work?
as long as no one has any objection to that, we'll do the preamble first, which should be very quick. And then we'll do a chapter by chapter for Mr. Bolton. If no one has any objection, let's try that. If it doesn't work, we'll change it as we go. All right, so this one should be a nice, easy test. And at this time, we're not gonna mess around with the table of contents, because although I think this is very close to this being correct for this document, I think there's gonna be some changes in the things we've brought. So disregard the table of contents at this time. So the preamble, the only real addition or subtraction was the capital T in town. I don't think anyone has any objection to that, any problems with that? Does that read correct? All right, going on to chapter 1. The first deviation from the existing charter is section 2, 1-2-1, where the phrase, and it's in blue, and as Len described earlier, blue signifies a new addition. Red is typically the language that's being replaced or scratched out, or redlined, I guess is the proper term. So getting back to 1-2-1, the phrase "in subject to all restrictions." No one has any problem with that? Good. Going down to section 3, 1-3-1. And this is what Mr. Bolton was talking about a short time ago. I think they ran through the computer representative town meeting, and I went through and corrected it almost everywhere. There was a few places that didn't, and there's one that still hasn't been done, but we can touch on that tonight. But so that was just a clerical change. Representative town meeting, select board was changed from selectmen, and town manager was capitalized. No really surprises there, no problems. Section 4, 1-4-1, town again, capitalized, first sentence, and the last sentence, town capitalized. We go over to page 4. 4 is clean. 4 doesn't have any corrections or omissions, quite honestly. So if everyone's fine with that, we'll go to the top of page 5. Another clerical improvement, town is capitalized. And the next definition, O, town meeting, is a new definition that Mr. Bulletin, I believe, brought up. We voted on just recently. Town meeting, any meeting of the full body of representative town meeting members called for under the charter. No problems with that. There's a couple of clerical changes in the next 2, with the letter being, I believe, P and Q for voters, Q for voters, and then we round out. See a little problem. Well, we're not too worried about those letter numbers at that time, right?
All
Letters,
the lettering, and numbering will ultimately change depending on what the final vote of town meeting is, so I don't think we need to get too hung up on that.
because the next one website is also Q,
Should be
and
on.
that's
I'll make it R, I'm noting that.
okay, and that just gets a clerical improvement on the word capitalization on the word town. So that concludes chapter 1. That was sort of harmless. Anyone have any overview of chapter 1 they want to go back and review? All right, starting to get into it a little bit here. Chapter 2. Section 1. The only addition to this document is town moderator is now going to be in this section. It's an elected position, and it shows up now in this section with all the other elected positions in town. Mr. Bolton.
the only thing that I note that. We have more description for the housing authority and the redevelopment authority, because we don't have separate sections for them later. But we note so if we have a select board of 5 members, a planning board of 5 members, a school committee of 7 members, who shall be elected for 3-year overlapping terms. That who shall be elected for 3-year overlapping terms is actually addressed when we get to the school committee section. Not to mention all of the terms of office for multi-member boards under the next lines we have below that are identified as being overlapping. We actually literally say the terms of office of all multi-member boards shall overlap. So I just don't know whether or not we want to get rid of that who shall be elected for 3-year overlapping terms, just to be consistent. It's not a big deal, it was just a consistency thing.
I think you should.
I mean, substantively, it makes no difference to me one way or the other, I just thought.
Well, I thought we, worked pretty hard to not have it be redundant.
Yeah, that's just one we missed. I agree with Steve that we should make it consistent.
Were you seeing that in the school committee?
Well, under 211, it's the fact that select board, planning board, school committee, and town moderator are just that, and the other two, as Steve said, there's more detail because we don't have distinct sections for them. So having who shall be elected for 3-year overlapping terms is essentially, like you said, it's redundant, it's somewhere else in the document. And
I'm not sure it is. Did you see it?
Well, I think when we get to the school committee.
Yeah,
Yeah, select board is,
the select board.
But you know,
does
you're,
it, but it doesn't do it in the school committee.
you're absolutely right, and whether we do it there, or maybe we should be moving that to the school committee. To be consistent with the way we treated the select board and the planning board. To show again that maybe that's where we move that we use the same language that we do. For the select board, which is, we would say a school committee of 7 members shall be elected.
I'm all for that, but I remember we discussed
you're
that
absolutely
night,
right.
because we didn't wanna have redundancy and.
right, so 241
Should become.
should become, I mean, then everything else moves up. That become, what's presently 241 will become 242. But 241 should replicate. Like 314
Well,
for
it would-
the
it would-
planning board,
Yeah, it would now actually just be,
or select
it
board.
would now be 2XX, because the reason that 241 is there is because that mimics our existing charter. So it would just become 2XX.
So a school committee of 7 members shall be elected for 3-year overlapping terms.
Yep, so 2-X-X.
So what page is that on?
We move up to page 9, right under where it says section 4, school committee.
And so the language is a school committee.
A school committee of 7 members shall be elected for 3-year overlapping terms.
And that would become 2, 4, 1,
Well, no,
or whatever, okay,
that's an
I,
old, yeah, yeah,
so I understand, but it will be the first thing,
right.
first sentence after section 4, the school committee.
And it's,
Correct.
and it would be a separate section.
Right.
Yep. You have that, Len?
Yeah.
And then
And also
delete
delete
shall be
the
elected
words
for 3-year overlapping terms from 2-1-.
after members
Yeah,
on
and then
page 5,
and semicolon would be after members.
right, correct. I would make that motion to delete from the per section and to add to the second section.
Do we need to do that as a motion? Or can we?
Yes, we
We
do.
probably should do that,
We're
yes.
we're making changes.
I know, so we have to do it individually. We can't do it as one for the whole, all the changes we make.
I think we do a chapter by chapter.
Okay,
You wanna do a
Unless-
chapter by chapter, you wanna do,
Unless,
Now we're jumping check.
No, this,
hang on. I think-
no, I think right now, again, if we're making substantive changes, we
Okay.
should vote on it.
It's just-
Anything that's simply administrative, we've all agreed in the past that we're going to renumber, we are going to capitalize. that was agreed as a committee, so the committee will have no objection to us actually doing what the committee has directed us to do. But this is a substantive change, well, it's moving it around, but it's a little bit more.
It's easy enough to do it. Mr. Paizo has made the motion. You have it written down, Mr. Levin. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Bolton seconds it. Any further discussion on the change? Seeing none, we'll take the vote and we can just do it by show of hands again.
Yeah.
All right, so all in favor of the recent change? It's unanimous, Len? Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so, we had left off, we are term of office. 2-1-2. The only thing here is a red line with, unless it goes on next page, hold on one second, make sure I'm not wrong.
You're right.
Okay. Then there's a couple of numbering changes here, which I didn't really pay a lot of attention, those make change as time goes on, but, we get on to, simultaneous elected offices. There's a, change in the very first word from A to N.
Where are you?
2-1-5 simultaneous elected offices, page 6, drop to page 6. And we redline the phrase representative town meeting member or, so it would read an elected town official representing the entire town, capital T for town. Later on,
We should also, by the way, capitalize T for town official.
You said 2-1-6?
2-1-5.
Oh,
five, I
sorry.
believe, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so I apologize, I missed the blue myself, so there's a T that Mr. Bullock picked up on the first sentence,
After
elected
elected.
town official, that should be capitalized. Second sentence has two clerical corrections, capital Ts on town twice. Fourth sentence, town clerk gets capitalized, and then the seventh sentence, representative town meeting member, all the way across, gets capitalized, and that's it for 2-1-5. Any, did I miss anything further on that? We'll move on to the select board, section 2. Section 2, presently on page 6, has a couple of red lines that go away. Anyone want to get in trouble with that? That includes page 6. Page 7. The first 2, 1, 2, 3 paragraphs are fine. 2-2-6. Middle sentence, in the sense of being consistent, where we put the number, or we wrote out the a number 1, 2, 3, whatever it was. We went and we made sure we put the digital number with parentheses after it. So that was, you're gonna see that throughout. There's some additional clerical fixes. So it's 1 parentheses or more select board members, replacing the word person, select person. Everyone see that? Everyone's fine with that? What we're calling at this time 3-2-8. The end of the third sentence is a new addition of a phrase, to the extent permissible by law. A report, well, the report is existing, so. That's the only addition on page 7, they're the only additions. Any questions on page 7? Tobias, are you happy with that?
I am ecstatic.
Yeah, very good. Let's go.
I literally knew you were going to say that.
All right, now we can go to, planning board, page 8, top of page 8, 3-14-1. There's a new, read of the paragraph, the planning board, would be the second sentence. We already discussed the first sentence, that's very consistent with, the others from earlier. So the new wording is the planning board may appoint one in parentheses, associate member for one
Do not
parentheses.
capitalize that one.
One of them can be
That's a typo.
capitalized, or, okay, that's a typo, yeah. The associate member shall be permitted to participate in all planning board discussions. In the event of the absence of one or more of the elected members of the planning board. Should say of the planning board, I wonder.
Planning board.
Yeah, the associate member shall be permitted
To vote.
on, and I'm not sure, I think we might have missed something there, right?
up.
Yeah,
Absolutely right, to vote.
to vote on site plan reviews, subdivision approvals, and special permit advisory opinions. Very good. And just, Martha, when you had sent me, if you see things along the way.
Yep, oh, I will.
Bring those up. all
And
right?
I think those are, I'll take response, those are, because I was typing that, that was a typo. That was on day 2
You don't have to
typos.
explain it all.
Okay.
Everybody is, there's a lot of work.
All right, so the next, change is a red line, 2-3-2 goes away. Moves us down to 2-3-3. Planning board shall serve as that this is a new phrase put in by this group, executive body responsible for. And then it continues, land use
Right, that-
planning.
So I looked that up too. And what I saw from the minutes is that land use planning for the town is new too, so it should be a blue. And then there's a missing sentence.
Before you go to the missing sentence, what is wrong with the existing sentence? What was left out?
She's right, that responsible for land use planning.
For the town.
Land use planning should be an
Blue.
addition.
Blue.
Oh, did I read it incorrectly? I'm
No,
sorry.
No, I typed it.
It's not
Oh,
in
okay.
blue,
All right.
it's just,
Yeah.
it should be there. Martha, do you
So I
remember
don't-
what date it was? that
Well,
We did that?
I have, gosh, the minutes of 3/26.
That's all I need.
See page 5.
It's 3/26.
And I have here 3-14-2 sentence,
Right,
number 2.
okay,
Does that make
and I've
sense?
got it here, so we can take a look.
You want to dictate it, what it
Well, I'm
is?
gonna take a look and see
Okay.
exactly what you think, so it's 3-14-1.
I think I've got written 3-14-2.
3-14. 3-14.
Is that correct?
No, you're absolutely right, we'll have to change it. But it's.
So you're saying 3-14-2 is missing a whole replacement sentence.
Well, it's. I'm looking to see where it is, but the planning board. Through the director, I'm not seeing,
After the word town,
after we're town, the next sentence, the planning board.
Drew, we have,
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
the
it's,
director of planning.
so that's the next sentence. The planning board through the director of planning and development.
Well, yeah, but here's,
So maybe I made a mistake.
Here's the thing, Martha, you're absolutely, you're right in the sense that. What happened was, because we struck from 3-14-2, the planning board shall exercise such powers and duties by general law. You'll see. In the next, it says 3-14-3, so it's a new section, it just got put together in that space as one section. So we struck. We struck that next sentence, but we created as a separate section if the town decided not to put that in. So in other words, if the town decides, if town meeting says what we have, if you look. Looking at the draft we have right now, it says 2-3-2, the planning board shall exercise such powers. You see that?
Yep.
And we struck that. In the event that they don't strike it. We moved it to make sure that it's its own section, so it wasn't part of another section that we already talked about. Being the composite, the section above it, which would be the composition. So first it's the composition of the board, then it's the powers of the board, and then it's more detail about the. About the function of the board.
So you're saying that,
You're absolutely,
The
you're
town-
absolutely right. There's a sentence that we struck it, but we actually, it's because we moved it to its own section, but we still have identified it as stricken.
okay. I'll have to look at that myself again.
So it's the sentence that Ms. Votrain is indicating was stricken is now what we call 2-3-2,
Okay,
and is also still stricken.
but at one time.
At one time, it was part of what was
Okay,
called,
all right, so,
and again.
After
here's-
the word town.
Right, and again.
Okay,
Here.
I didn't
Here's
look back there
an
and
issue
see
to
it.
Mr. Levin, which is that again, I don't know why these on this version. It's 2-3, 2-4, when we'll have to take a look and see, because those were originally. A different note, those were differently, those were originally 3-14. So those should be.
Well, I have the minutes right here, we can fix it, let's fix it, because if we don't, so what you're saying is that 232 should actually be,
3-14-2 is what it should be.
and I'm just gonna make that, I'm not gonna make that a blue or red, it's just gonna be 3-14-2.
That's what it should be,
And the next one should be 3-14-3,
correct?
and then the last one should be 3-14-4,
That is correct.
okay?
And then,
Then 235 should be 3-14-5, that's what it says in the minutes.
that is correct.
Okay.
And the same with the next page, 3-14-6.
On page 9.
Yes. But hang on, I'm gonna take a look because we do have to start too.
we have a
And then we have a
3-14-6 already down here.
And
That's interesting. Looking back confusing.
I think what happened was. We added, we added, so. So what's marked as 2-3-6 should just become 2-X-X, because that's a new section.
What?
The blue.
This,
Top of page 9, is that right?
Right, the blue
Oh, I know,
language.
I know what you're saying, this becomes red, and down here, this should become 3-X-X.
It's actually 2-X-X.
Still,
Still in
chapter 2.
I'm not following you with all those numbers.
But that's the number,
Are you,
Oh, you're saying because it's new, it doesn't follow the old
Completely new,
number.
Doesn't follow the old numbers.
Okay,
It's
okay.
brand new.
Martha, if you look on page 9,
of our most
Of our-
current,
of the one, yeah, we're reviewing.
Yeah.
The section up top
oh, yeah. I
shouldn't have
saw
said
that.
236, the thing we just talked about
I
is
didn't pay
3-14.
Numbers.
The next paragraph that's all in blue that doesn't have a number, because it's a new paragraph. We're following the rules because
Yeah.
it's
I-
new,
I-
it'll be part of section 2, it'll be 2XX, whatever that is.
I went through that. I understand that. It was just this one thing here.
all right, let's go back if we.
So wait,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
so 3-14-6 on page 9 stays okay, right?
3-14-6 at the request, yes.
so,
And then what happens, sorry?
no,
I'm,
Go ahead, sir.
if only I could. What presently says 2-3-6.
should actually not physically be there at all, because what we have as 3-14-6 is the same. It's the revised version. It's just, we have a duplicate.
That's what I was saying.
I'm gonna change that 2-3-6 to 3-14-6.
No, you're not.
No, wait, and make it red. And
No.
strike it.
No, you're not. Stop.
Okay, okay.
No, because you have 3-14-6, 2 lines below. You simply have a duplicate. Instead, we have one which is entirely stricken out and another which is amended. It should just be the amended version of that.
So you wanna take that 2-3-6 completely out?
Correct.
Oh, okay,
Because it's a duplicate.
Okay.
It's not something that should be there at all. We amended 3-14-6. We didn't strike it.
okay, that's fine, I understand now. That's why I'm doing a markup instead of trying to do it.
No. Absolutely.
All right, so going back, if we
And
can,
then the last one, by the way, should probably also be 3-14-7.
instead of 237,
Yeah. Yes.
okay.
So I think now we're going back to page 8.
We're gonna go back to page 8, just so we can get back on a flow. The new 3-14-2, the old 2-3-2 is still stricken. That's, the sentence that Martha is looking for. Now we're gonna go to where we were, we last agreed on things. Now it's 3-14-3. The planning board shall serve as the, and we inserted executive body responsible for. And then we go back to using the existing language, land use planning for the town.
And
Everybody
land
agree
use,
on that sentence? Is that
right, but
correct?
land use planning will be changed to blue.
Oh, that should have been blue and not black?
Right,
correct.
right. And I have that
Okay,
indicated here.
okay. Okay, so that, well, that's actually not the end of the sentence, but we strike the remainder of that. Oh, I guess it would be the end of the sentence, should you have a period, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right,
Well, the period is actually all the way down at the end of the word town.
yeah, and that's still black, so, okay. Okay, the second sentence, if we all agree, well, should read the planning board. And we strike shall be responsible here, and we go right to. Through the director of planning and development. Comma, shall be responsible. For the efficient and orderly operation of all planning board functions and all related activities. So I might have made that more, painful than it was, but the shall be responsible gets moved in the sentence past development, but it's basically the same sentence. Okay, does anybody agree with that? That's 3-14-3. 3-14-4. The planning board shall develop and maintain a comprehensive master plan, CMP. Compliant with state law that shall serve as guidance for the long-range planning of the town with respect to its physical, environmental, community, and economic development. And I'm assuming
I'd like to
that's
ask
gonna
a
have a
question.
period. I'm sorry, go ahead.
why do we have in there compliant with state law? If we aren't including state law compliant with GL7 or whatever, why do we have this phrase in here?
Fine, state law. Why do we have that? We worked, take a lot of that out in different places, right?
Well, I think what we took out, if I may speak, is we took out references to specific state laws. I think this is in general making a statement that a master plan has to be in comply. We can't just go do some master plan, you know, that we sit down at McDonald's and do it. It has to comply. There's rules and regulations with the, from the state that says what a master plan has to be.
I think that the reasoning, I think that the reasoning was to specify that we were doing that this is a state, every 10 years, we have to do a state compliant master plan. Because we have, this is to distinguish, for example, from all of the other master plans we have. So we have village center master plans, and we have an open space master plan, and we have a we have a housing production plan that's a master plan versus, so I think what we could do is we could update to say that it's, you know, this is the comprehensive master plan, but it's a comprehensive master plan. We're just trying to distinguish it from all the others to say that it's the one that's required by state law.
Does the state require all towns to have a comprehensive master plan?
If you have a planning department, a planning board, you
So they don't. In other words, Chesterfield could very well
not have a master plan.
Okay, I don't think we need to mess with this. I think that's.
I want, people will ask.
Yeah.
I didn't know the answer.
Well, no, you're right, and I think I'm trying to remember as we discussed it, but I think the reasoning was to distinguish it from all of the other master plans that we do, or the things that we call a master plan in town, which aren't the comprehensive master plan. Because I didn't want someone to turn around and say, well, we don't have to do this because we did an open space master plan last year, so we've done it.
Are you satisfied with that answer, Ms. Fulton?
Mhm.
Like that, okay.
Thank you.
All right, so that would get a period. The next sentence, there's. It's struck, the existing one is striked out, but we would have on our wording, the CMP. Shall be updated at least, this is new, at least every 10 parentheses, the number 10 years. Period. Then some of the existing language that's in the charter today would be stricken. And then the final sentence would be, the planning board shall solicit public comment and participation throughout the comprehensive master planning process, and shall adopt the CMP and or any updates thereto, and that's new language, any and thereto, only after a duly noticed public hearing. Is everyone content with 314-4?
6:51 PM.
Yes, okay. 314 5, which was the old 2-3-5, was actually stricken in its entirety, but we added a new text, and it reads, the planning board shall report annually at town meeting to inform the town of any implementation measures for the CMP that, this is gonna have to be corrected, may require representative town meeting member approval. The planning board shall. and I
So
guess-
why don't we deal with that before you go further,
Yeah.
because,
Just strike the second that require.
Okay, just,
yeah,
okay.
that's what you and I talked about.
Yeah,
So that goes away, and then it just reads a little funny, the next sentence, and I think there's just one missing word, or we're gonna get rid of a word. The planning board shall also make recommendation on zoning bylaw amendments to the representative town meeting member, I'm guessing that's members, consistent with the CMP.
So I think the on needs to be deleted.
On goes away,
Recommendation should be plural, recommendations.
Okay, wait a minute. So the planning board shall, the on goes away,
Yep, also make recommendations plural,
okay,
yes, that's it.
got it.
and then on zoning bylaw amendments to the representative town meeting members. plural.
That gets an S as well.
Consistent with the CFP.
Does everyone agree with that? Was that on your list, Martha? Okay,
I missed the almond.
that one actually drove me to go get the yellow marker. All right, so. Going to the top of page 9, if we're content, is now. 2XX, we're calling it. That was stricken in its entirety and replaced with the next phrase, any proposal made to
Well,
any.
just to be clear, that red section that's called 236, my understanding is I'm taking that out. completely.
Correct, that is duplicative
Right,
language.
okay, it's,
So, so 2XX doesn't replace anything, 2XX is
Brand new, okay. So this is a brand new section that we put in,
Yes.
okay. Any proposal made to any town board, committee, commission, town meeting, or any other body with authority to make a binding decision on behalf of the town must contain a certification, comma.
That you signed.
Signed, ED,
a signed certification.
the next word is signed, after the comma, by the
Oh,
Instead
proponent.
of signed, it's really signed.
Signed by the proponent, comma, that the proposal is either consistent with the CMP, comma, with citations to the CMP, or, comma, if not, why an exception to the CMP is appropriate. There's a little bit there, but I think it reads much better than I probably did it. I guess it's making a determination, it has to have a certification, signed, consistent with the master plan, unless in such cases it doesn't need it, and that's the exception. Does that read right?
We debated this, go ahead, Larry, I'm always happy to try and wordsmith it more.
It, just the first line. Town board, committee, commission, town meeting, it doesn't.
Flow in order?
There's an adjective somewhere
Oh.
wrong. If we were to say any proposal made to town meeting or any town board, committee, commission, or any
Perfectly
other.
fine. You're right, that certainly does read better, I'm absolutely fine.
Okay.
Made, so put the town meeting,
Okay, This is two XX,
to XX, so it should now say any proposal made to,
women. Any proposal
any proposal made. Well, we're only making some change. minor
That's fine.
change,
made
to town meeting. Or to. Any. Town board, committee, commission. And I would say, or other. To delete town meeting, delete or any, or other.
Yeah.
Body with authority to make a final decision on behalf of the town.
So you're gonna take out town meeting there?
Yeah, but move town meeting in front of.
Oh, that's right. So just read, any proposal made to town meeting or to any town board, committee, commission. Or any other
We
body
get rid of the any other, the any, just or other.
or other body. With authority to make, okay. Okay,
Comfortable with that?
yeah, I just wanted to write it here where it wasn't jammed in there and I
Is
didn't.
that, votable?
Yeah, you gotta make a motion.
I just want to warn you that Eugene Lane, select board member, in fact, he was a selectman, it was so long ago, used to thunder about Article 20. And people, and no one knew what he was talking about because he was actually talking about Article XX. um, Which was just, so I just want to warn us that we should be getting along better than thundering.
Well, as long as we include dash X.
Dash X. Okay,
So that would actually, Article 2, 10 minus 10, which would be 0, so it's just Article 2 still.
That's funny, enough to remember that, make sure.
So when we get done with this, we'll run it, we'll use some rid X on it to get.
There you go. Sorry, I'm going back to sleep.
No, we had, we're doing good.
Okay,
Three,
Hang on,
no, I'm sorry, you had, oh, we're gonna make motion, that's right.
Okay, I think Mr. Levin has the.
right, here's what we're making a motion on. The beginning of section 2-X on page 9
Yeah,
will read as proposed, any proposal made to town meeting or to any town board, comma, committee, comma, commission, comma, or other body
with the, yes,
with authority, yes.
I make the motion that we exchange that for what is presently appearing.
Okay, and then second, Mr. Bolton. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. I think that's a nice, nice change, it reads very nice. That moves us to 3-14-6, at the request of the planning board. Any capital T town, board, or agency, this is new language, undertaking significant, new language, action which may impact the physical, environmental, community, or economic development of the town should be capitalized,
yes.
shall report the status of such new language action to the planning board so that, this is new language, that it may elevate such action, evaluate, I'm sorry,
You could elevate it too.
Yeah.
We probably need to evaluate
Evaluate.
before we elevate it.
that reads better too. Evaluate such action and address it in the planning board's recommendations to the representative town meeting members.
Are we missing an or? At the, in the beginning, at the request of the at the request of the planning board. Any town board or agency, no. Do you think,
You could put a comma there if you wanted.
yeah, would that,
I don't care, you guys, I don't know anything about that, don't ask me.
no, it's just, it,
Where do you hope to put the comma?
after planning
In
board.
the very first line. at the
Oh, okay.
request of the planning board, comma.
Usually prepositional phrases don't require it, but this would clarify, I think.
Yeah,
It does give you the breath pause.
Yes. I don't think we need. That's not a motion.
is that one sentence, that whole thing? No wonder I messed up at the end. That is one sentence, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so comma's good. All right, so now if everyone's happy with that, 3-14-7 stays the same, the body language stays the same. Section 4, the school committee. Move all the way down, I'm sorry, move down to A, we capitalize superintendent.
We
of
did
the
add,
schools.
we did add
We added that new
the
section.
new section as at the beginning.
Right.
Right.
Oh, just a few minutes ago, yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. I didn't write that down in my copy, sorry. Okay, so, A gets capital S. Moving down to C, second sentence, after appropriation, we strike by, and we put in voted on at, and then we have capital town meeting, capitalized. We, delete in its entirety, section D. And then, 2-4-2, the top of page 10, first sentence, all the way at the end, we scratch directly to, and we just replace that with at. And then we get rid of the, and we call it town meeting. That's already capitalized in this version, so that's good. Everyone see that?
Yeah, and just as a note, it refers to a section number,
Oh, yeah,
and
right.
that will get updated, so, once it's renumbered, you know.
Section is capitalized. Very good.
And just as a note for, it's an example, so one of the reasons that we felt that this was a report at town meeting is because the school committee is reporting on the state of the schools. They're not reporting it just to town meeting members, they're reporting it at town meetings to the town. Because that's one of their opportunities where they're being required to do this so that the town has, it's the state of the schools at town meeting. Rather than just, because if someone said to the town meeting members, well, then they could elect to do it not at town meeting, but rather at another time. Or through another methodology.
But I think that it doesn't preclude the traditional Article 2, if they so chose.
Nope. Doesn't, but this basically says that they're going to do it at town meeting.
Yeah, okay, good.
Right, everyone content with that section? We're gonna move on to section 5, the moderator. Skipping down quickly, 3 not paragraphs, but subsections. 2-5-3 gets capitalization on representative town meeting members. I guess members should be capitalized, right?
Capitalized?
What's that?
That should be capitalized?
Yes.
Members, yeah.
Well, it should be capitalized.
And 2-5-3,
2-5-3, we've been standardizing by capitalizing representative town
Yeah,
meeting
there's,
members.
there's blue M's.
No, members.
You
The
forgot members on that one.
Oh, got the members.
Yeah. The same thing for 2-5-4, we inserted representative, members at the very last sentence surrounding the town meeting. 2-5-5, that's clean. 2-5-6, clean. That moves us to chapter 3, so chapter 2, we're complete with chapter 2. Okay, chapter 3, legislative branch, representative town meeting, 2-1-1, it's stricken in its entirety. 2-2-1 has a series of grammatical capital letters. Representative town meeting, representative town meeting members. Representative town meeting members a second time, and then in an effort to standardize. The fourth sentence, we have each precinct shall elect 9. We wrote the word 9, and then we have 9 in parentheses. And that concludes page 10. The 2-2-1 does go all the way over to the top of page 11. And okay. That seems okay. All right, so 3-1-2, I believe. And it's top of page 10. Any registered voter of the town shall be eligible for, it's the same thing. Oh, okay, no, sorry. The next one, I apologize, is the body. This is 2-2-X-A. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's the first word of the new language.
Yeah.
A representative town meeting member shall not simultaneously hold another elected town office other than member of a charter commission. A person who holds multiple offices in violation of this section shall promptly inform the town clerk of which office that person will vacate. Election to a county, state, or federal office other than a county charter commission shall be an event disqualifying a representative town meeting member from continuing in an elected town office beginning the day the individual is sworn in to the county, state, or federal office.
There's just an extra dash.
Yeah, I got that, at the very top, yeah.
Okay,
So I do
I'm sorry?
have a comment on the
Go
fact
ahead.
that that's all in blue, but so much of it is not new. And I wondered if it would be more appropriate to have it in black, red, and blue, like the paragraph below it and others.
Well,
But I was wondering why that one is all in blue, I guess is my.
because
first question.
it is completely new, because we took the original language, we left that for elected offices. And we created an entirely new section under representative town meeting. Because originally there was just one section
Oh,
that talked
yeah,
about
okay.
it for both offices.
I remember that.
And we decided, yeah, on your suggestion, that
I remember.
since we want to make sure that it's consistent, that we speak about those particular offices in their particular chapter, that we made one just for them. So that's why it's all in.
Okay, thank you.
all right. Moving down to, 2-1-3, again, a lot of capitalization, representative town meeting, first sentence, second sentence. Happens twice, third sentence. Capital representative town meeting member, then, fourth sentence, the town clerk towards the end of the sentence. Shall, we scratched the word may, shall. Also declare the seat vacant if the registrants, with the registrar of voters. We we scratched the mass general laws. Determine that, and I think this is a typo, it's gonna say, it should say representative town meeting member is illegally or incorrectly registered to vote in the precinct.
No, that's the,
Just presently says Tim, so I'm assuming it's supposed to say.
Yes.
Representative, okay.
okay,
Given that this is an official state title, shouldn't registrars and voters be capitalized?
We can.
Yeah, I don't think there's
see
any,
the issue with that.
It's
should
one
it be
particular
plural
person.
also?
What's that?
Should it be registrars, or is it should be registrar?
No, there are four.
Four, it's multiple.
Oh, okay. So you're saying to be consistent with what we're doing, because it's an official office,
Like, if you say town clerk.
right, it's consistent with saying it's an official, it's official position.
Yeah, and, yeah,
I didn't bring it up earlier, but should the paragraph above it, charter commission be capitalized?
Well, no, it's a charter commission, not a.
Okay, so it's not the
So it's
charter
not, it's
commission?
not the, it's any,
Okay.
so it's generic until it becomes a specific.
Okay, fair enough.
And Alan, I think just for speed purposes.
Yeah.
I don't know that we need to go through all of the grammatical corrections. that we
Okay,
made
fair
for-
enough, yeah.
Unless others feel that way, I think we're pretty good in terms of, we can recognize where there's.
All right, that's fair, we can do that.
I think the bigger ones are the ones that we missed rather than the ones that we made.
But we can do that, we can speed that up, but if there's any, areas where you had concerns, just stop me at that section. Okay, so town meeting administration. 3-2-1, go ahead, Martha.
I wondered if we might switch the responsibilities of town clerk regarding town meeting to the section or down from the section. That the section would be section 2, town meeting administration. And that under that would then come responsibilities of the town clerk regarding town meeting.
Actually,
And-
Martha, just so you
because-
know, section town meeting administration, that's the responsibilities of the town clerk regarding town meeting administration. Versus if you go to the next page, then there's responsibilities of the town clerk. The next section is regarding representative town meeting vacancies. They're all still under that. So you're basically looking at the next section beyond that, which is town meeting procedures.
Well,
Page
so
13.
representative town meeting vacancies,
Is still as a
Oh.
function, is part of section two, one of the responsibilities of the town clerk
Oh,
regarding town meeting.
okay, but, what about the top of page 12? Representative town meeting member. They'll serve without compensation,
That's fine.
that doesn't
No,
have
that's gonna be
anything to
plural.
do with
No,
the town clerk, does it?
Oh, yeah.
Or
let's
not,
get it.
no, you're absolutely right.
and that's what kind of got me thinking. That maybe switching the title would make,
Just
I
suggest,
don't know, I don't have a good suggestion.
No, but I
just,
just, hang on, but you may be correct, because I thought that that was actually part of. I thought we already had that in elsewhere, so that may literally be in the wrong place. No, because I think you're absolutely right, I think that that should be. That should come after what is on page number 3-1-2. The dash is missing, but,
3-2-1.
no, 3-1-2, any registered voter of the town should be capitalized T.
Oh,
Shall be eligible for election to town meeting again, capitalized membership. But I think Martha is correct, that if you look to 3-2-3 at the top of page 12. That should be moved to the section regarding town meeting, not the town clerk. I think that was just an oversight in terms of. I think we moved some
Yeah.
things around and we didn't move that to the right place.
so what you're, okay, so if I'm clear, the section 3-2-3 at the top of page 12
Right,
should go,
after 3-1-2.
and we leave it 3-2-3.
Where's three? Oh. Right,
It's just in the wrong spot.
right, no, I was thinking about.
So it's gonna go after this, but
3-1-2.
between, before 2XX.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's it. That,
Let me just make a note here.
does that seem like a good spot for you, Martha? Does that
Yep.
make sense?
Yep.
Good catch. I agree.
that doesn't require a vote, I'm assuming, that we just
That just, yeah, that's just
It's a
moving
click.
it to where it should have been in the first thing.
Okay.
All right, so that gets us back again to, section 2, responsibilities of the town clerk regarding town meeting administration. There's some clerical things, to round out the page, there's some strikeouts, is there anything that, jumps out at anybody? Just a capital on the members on the first,
So
3-2.
so here's where the question is, Martha, are you suggesting that we move the town clerk's, the whole thing about town clerk responsibilities further down? So if you make section 2, so instead you move to make the powers of town meeting, instead make that section 2 instead of section 3. Then you have
Well, that I
section
hadn't
4,
thought
town
of.
meeting procedures. And then move,
Compulsory attendance.
then you have compulsory attendance, do you want to make the town clerk's responsibilities regarding town meeting last, or do we want to keep it where it is?
Well, I hadn't thought of changing it like
And
that.
and again, it's just, it's a sequence thing, so it's a question of whether people feel it's better to highlight the town clerk's responsibilities earlier or later.
That's fine,
Okay,
I'm not suggesting that change.
okay,
So let me answer your question, Steve.
Yeah.
So section 2 is responsibilities of town clerk regarding,
yes,
it's got 3
subsections.
subsections, town meeting administration.
Yep.
And then it has vacancies,
Yep,
and then it has powers.
no, powers is section 3, that is now town meetings powers.
Okay. Okay,
So that's why those are subsections of section 2.
okay. And then section 4 is meeting procedures, and section 5 is attendance. Okay, okay. Yeah, I think. I think where it shows up in the charter, in my opinion, doesn't give it any other, give it more importance or less importance.
Nope.
It could be read that way, but in my opinion, I don't think it does. And,
Alan,
Right.
excuse me, you might want to recognize a hand raised.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Abbott, is that Mr. Abbott?
Yes.
Mr. Abbott, go right ahead, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm reviewing this charter. Actually, I'm probably a little few pages ahead of you, but I read it against the last draft, which was the May draft, and I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah, what happened to the conflict of interest section, and what happened to the caucuses section? They were in the May draft, but they seem to be deleted here. In fact, the town meeting section seems to be rather stunningly short.
That's a very good question, and I don't remember talking about that the other day. That may not have been switched over into this draft. That's a good catch.
There are
I
two
don't remember talking about that section.
No,
Would have been 2-10-1, 2-10-2, I believe.
Yep.
I don't remember us transferring it over, how they say that.
no, you're absolutely right.
Alan, there were two sections, one on conflict of interest and the other was on caucuses. In fact, I don't see the word caucus anywhere in this draft of this charter.
You're absolutely right.
so what section is that?
Should have been 2-10-1 through 2-10-3.
But where would it show, where would it show up?
Should show up under the town meeting representative section.
Yeah, it was,
So what, it should show up in,
so it was so if you look at the 2406/28.
I understand that, but I think what's happened is he's jumped ahead and I think we should catch up to it.
Well, no,
Well, where
he's,
does-
Mr. Abbott's correct.
I know, but where would it go in the charter that we're reviewing?
That's what I'm.
In your May draft, it was section 10 and 11. Conflict of
I-
interest was
I
10,
know.
11 was caucuses. And then it went on to the advisory and finance committee.
Right, but,
Where do you think it would go
I
next?
think it should go back under the legislative. branch.
oh, it's definitely under legislative. It belongs in chapter 3. And, it should probably come after, they should both come after. Well, I
Put it
think,
anyway,
I think
yeah.
conflict of interest certainly comes after compulsory attendance. That makes sense.
So call it a new section 6,
That would be section 6.
yeah.
But the other question is whether, but caucuses.
Steve, can I make a suggestion?
You may.
We need to work with that. Let's finish going through this and come back and do that at the end. Cause I think we won't get through, I mean, that's important, I'm not saying.
Vitally important to get that.
That's right, and I think we go through it and then we can figure out where we should put it, and it could be simply a cut and paste. It may not be as big an issue.
I don't think ultimately we made a lot of changes with it. I think it's gonna remain intact, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
We certainly didn't make changes to conflict of interest. I think we made some minor changes to caucuses only to say that we were requiring an additional one.
Right.
But I think that, I agree, I think that conflict of interest should be section 6 of chapter 3 and caucuses should be section 7.
6 and 7, so that goes,
After compulsory attendance at town meeting.
right, so the last, it would be the last, absolutely, I think that's easy.
Yeah, that's
I-
easy.
not
But I'm
only-
thinking, I think we should finish reviewing and come back and deal with those. If it's simply a cut and paste, and you tell me where I get the verbiage.
It is.
Well, I know, but I just feel like, I understand that's important, but I think we should, whatever. So which one are we looking at that's coming from?
Here's the last version, the version Mr. Abbott's probably be working off of.
What are you looking at, Steve? 628?
I'm looking at 628, so for example, we have there, it's. Conflict of interest was on page, it was section 6,
Give me a page, my friend.
the conflict of interest is page 16.
Give me a second, because I need to. This is what got it. Okay, so page
There you go.
16.
Yeah.
So from line 455,
No,
Yeah,
well,
no, this is what I,
different document. I'm sorry, I'm looking at a different document, so.
Are you looking at 240628,
I am.
page 16?
Hmm.
It doesn't say line 455?
No.
What does it say for you?
464.
Len, are you folks working, Steve and Len, are you working on that updated 7/11/24? The one that my
No.
original draft?
No.
Okay, because it had all those changes.
So let me suggest this. Forget about the line numbers for right now.
Right, but
We'll find the text.
But the text is basically what came in, starting at. And Larry, you must have the same thing, so let's make sure I have the same. It's exactly the same, but yeah, so yeah, if you're saying it's, so starting at line, from what you're looking at, Len, line 455
For 477.
to 477, that's the conflict of interest.
And that should be put into,
That should be put into chapter 3 as a new section 6. I mean, it would still be called, I would call it, you know, I would do exactly what it says, you know, the 10 is there, the original 2-10-1. So that we're clear what we're changing, but yes,
give me some.
How do you see it?
I've got to look at, that's what I was gonna look for, rights of non-members as well,
Yeah.
because that was something else that may be missing as well.
You keep on doing that, I'm gonna do this.
Not missing.
I didn't bring
No.
my other edition.
It's
Yeah.
not there either.
It's
Sorry?
not there
I
either.
didn't bring my version from,
I didn't mean the old version, it's on the loss, but
Yeah, I think in addition to what Mr. Abbott said, we also left off
Rights of non-members.
rights of non-members at town meeting.
so it's section 6, your suggestion would be.
So we're basically
conflict of
missing
interest.
sections, what would be 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah.
Okay,
7 would be,
Rights of
A and F?
non-members.
or caucuses would be 8.
The caucuses would be 8.
oh, conflict, that's the other one.
okay. So in this document that we're looking at, so rights of non-members is gonna become,
7. I would literally take exactly what we have and just cut and paste it literally, because I think the sequence even makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the first two speak about events at town meeting, the conflict at town meeting. And the rights of non-members at town meeting, and then caucuses come after, or separate from the
So this-
physical event of town meeting.
so it's basically what it says, section 6, 7, and 8. So we're gonna copy from page 455,
Line 455, yeah.
all the way to line 514.
Correct.
And so what's the date of that version?
It says, I have on my document, it's the version 240628.
Yep.
Now, just so I have, because I'm doing this, where is that gonna go?
That is gonna go
Like basically at the end of chapter 3.
correct. Right. From where the end of from where chapter 3 ends right now, it gets inserted right there.
What page? What page?
That was page 14.
One second.
At the section 5, compulsory attendance.
Correct.
So it's right before elections.
Correct.
I'm good.
In all 3 sections.
I know what I need to go. I know where it's coming from and where it's going to, so.
All right, Mr. Abbott, thank you very much. Is there anything further? I apologize. We'll straighten that out. Okay. All right, so that puts us now,
Thanks, Alan. Yep, got it.
thank
Are we
you.
gonna go back to where we
Yeah.
left off?
We're gonna go back
Where is
to
that?
page 11, right? We're in the middle of page 11. We're trying to get past the section 2, town clerk. We already did that. I'm sorry. Good. Yeah, we did that. Page 12. 3-2-3, I think needs.
I do have one.
We did that? All right, how about 2-9-2? That's all set. Well, there's some new language in there. Fourth sentence, or 10 days passed, or 10 days passed without a response. That has to do with, moving another, member into the, if I'm not mistaken, into the precinct if there's a vacancy.
Think about that.
Alan, at some point I have a couple comments.
I'm sorry,
She has comments.
I have some
that's one of the
comments.
places you had a comment? All right, go
Okay.
right ahead.
Going back to page 11,
Okay,
town meeting administration 3-2-1. We now, the clerk shall send, so that should be blue, that's new, and mail should be redlined. Remember, we changed from
I'm sorry,
mail,
where are you?
In the next to last sentence in section 3-2-1 on page 11.
Clerk shall send copies of the notice.
By
right,
the way, you missed
so,
capitalize a town's libraries.
Well, hang on, let's,
so I forget which comes first, but either mail should be redlined and then send should be blue.
so we're missing the delete and not highlighting the ad. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, missing, yeah, the strikeout. in
So the
red.
word mail is struck and it goes after shall, and the word send is blue. Right?
Yeah. And then I have a few similar
Members
ones.
gets, further down that same sentence gets the yes, so. I'm sorry, what was the last thing you had?
Wait, what did you say? You guys, you say this and just go on, you know.
Well, I'm sure you'll probably pick it up, I don't wanna hold up the
No,
meeting.
no, no, don't
Should
hold
be-
it up.
Should be.
No, we're not holding up the meeting, because
Yeah.
if you don't give me a chance to note this,
We got
that's why
fourth
I'm,
sentence, the one we're just working on.
right, the town meeting members.
Members, I
Okay, that's
believe
fine.
gets plural, right?
And you got town libraries, capital T for town.
Yes,
Okay, and
I'm not trying to be a.
now 3-2-2, because it was redlined, the period, after proceedings, second line, that gets a period. But that's just to clarify, I don't wanna make, hold up a lot of
No,
time.
the period's there, that's fine.
It's, well, it's red, it's red, I just
I'll
know
get
what's
that.
gonna go.
Yeah, that's-
Okay, you got that? All right, so now going to, anything else on page 11, Martha? Okay, page 12. We, talked about 2-9-2, that's fine. Okay, now we're on section 3, powers. 2 strikeouts.
Oh, well.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, up in, under representative town meeting vacancies.
Yep, go right ahead.
The same thing for and. The address, phone number. And should be struck out.
You mean including address, phone number? It should not have an email address, it should just say email address?
I can't read my own writing, I'm sorry, but the
That's
word, oh, and should be blue. I'm sorry, so and is new, and then. Add a red striked out regarding, oh, the A and F report. Is,
I'm losing track of you.
I'm
F.
next as well.
Where are
okay,
you now?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to, figure
Yeah.
out. You see after phone number,
Yeah,
the and, that should be blue.
right, got that.
Email addresses. And then before provided, we should add the red strikeout regarding A and F report.
And that's important.
Yeah, I'd have to go back to the,
I'll look at the original.
to the actual, and I do have the minutes also. 11/7/23, page 6. The minutes 11/7/23.
Be 11/7, huh?
What's the minute date?
11/7/23,
Oh, November 11th.
yeah.
You said 11.
We did.
It can't be, that's why the change is wrong. People do not think randomly.
I didn't bring all my, I didn't bring.
No, that's fine, I have it here.
First of all, looks good, 3-2-6 should properly be called 2-2-9.
2-2-9, okay.
That's where it is in our current chart.
Okay, so how should this read?
So I see,
There's a reference in our original charter to the A and S report.
Oh, here it is. It's on page 6 of the minutes. It says the town clerk shall publish the contact information by all town meeting members, including address, phone number, and email address. And the town member shall receive a printed copy. Okay, so
All of that should be
be
in
put
red.
back in.
as-
Okay,
as
give me a
it's been done.
second. So I'm gonna put here
Yeah,
Add
Larry, you
deletion.
motioned that. You remember?
yeah,
I like that add deletion.
yeah, it's always, it's great when we get to put it in and strike it, right?
Well, that's what I am.
That's what you're.
Add deletion from 11-7-23 minutes. Page 6. I got it.
Don't you have that? You comfortable? Martha, anything further on that?
No,
You like it? Okay. We're now back to powers. 3-3-1, little bit of capitalization. 5-5-1. I had a question on this one, on the 100 registered voters. Because later on, it says 200 registered voters. I don't know if there's a conflict.
It's regular, that was the difference between a regular town meeting and a special, I believe.
yeah,
But it says in the sentence, at least
Where did-
100
where did you
registered
see-
voters may secure the same for any special town
It's at the
meeting.
bottom of page 12.
Okay.
Bottom of page 12, and then if you go in the upper half of page 13. In the paragraph that starts with the budget, in the middle of that, it calls for 200 registered voters for a special town meeting and
It's to open the budget, opening the budget is separate versus.
it's separate, okay?
No,
Should we put 200 in parentheses there for the?
wait a minute,
state
where is the
standard?
200?
Wait, it said the budget is adopted, blah, blah, blah.
Says the select board shall. The budget is adopted, okay, may be reopened, okay,
Maybe reopened by
so
two.
that's the difference, okay, disregard.
It's the difference between putting an article on and reopening the budget.
Fair enough, okay, I just saw,
So the bottom line is there's no changes?
right now, no changes.
Wait a minute.
Where-
That's in our existing.
So that is different from state law. I mean,
Let me find it where it is, where we have it,
that's interesting. I mean,
it is currently in 2-4-1. As provided by GL chapter, General Laws chapter 39, section 10, the select board may at any time upon 14 days prior to call a special town meeting. And the select board shall call a planning upon the request of 200 voters. That's different, sorry.
no, I'm sorry, okay, okay. It's 200 to call the meeting and 100 to put the article
Right. And I think if you're, same thing, if you're trying to reopen the budget.
on, but. Wait a second. The budget as adopted may be reopened by a citizen petition. As provided, at any time, 14 days, call a special town meeting. Yeah, okay, all they're saying. Is you're calling the special town meeting at the request of 200 voters. As far as the budget article is concerned. 100 signatures can provide an article for town meeting. For this special town meeting,
Yeah.
we didn't change it. It is consistent because one is calling the town meeting and the other is putting an article on town meeting without the selectmen's blessing.
Fair enough, I just,
Yeah, good, yeah.
But I think you're right, we should actually include the number 200
Where's
to be
that?
consistent. So,
Page
this
13.
page 13.
just above the halfway mark, there's a
of the
paragraph.
second paragraph, so you have 3-4-1, the second paragraph of that.
If,
You should just add parentheses 200.
Okay, so let's,
Sixth line down.
so it says open at least 14, should the 14 days be paren 14?
yeah,
Yes.
To be
Okay.
consistent, yes.
To be
we-
consistent.
yeah.
We've been doing that.
Primary special, this February should call special meeting in 200, so after 200, we're gonna do the paren 200.
Correct.
Okay.
And I would even keep going the next 45 days, I would do the same thing, 45.
Yeah, that whole paragraph, we just missed it.
well, we could do a positive suggestion, leave the whole paragraph up on that, I'm not going. I mean, that's,
Agree with that?
that's state law, though, we're just.
Back to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going back to sleep, sorry.
All right, 3-4,
Just to be clear, by the way, that 3-4-1 should be called 2-4-1 from our original chart.
okay. Skipping down, I'm guessing it's 2-4-2.
It's probably
Quorum.
2-2.
The quorum necessary, okay, that has a couple of capitalizations in the addition of the word representative, so that's fine, everybody agree with that? Then we move down to 3-4-5. That gets capitalizations,
It's the may shall.
oh, may turns to shall, exactly right,
That's the substantive change.
and there's a couple of cross outs of its. And then we had town meeting in there for procedures.
And those should be 2-4, 2-4-3, 2-4-4.
Correct, 2-4-5.
Then the very next thing, the whole chapter is stricken with the exception of the words roll call vote shall be required for all motions. I'm assuming that's gonna be 2-4-6, or stay, do we keep the number?
Yeah.
Should it, did we, should it? Should it say a roll call
It
vote?
should be a roll call vote.
Should be A or capitalize R, whatever you wanna do, A, roll call vote?
Yeah,
Yeah,
You want A?
A, yeah.
Yeah, A, roll call vote, comma, shall be required
It's
for all
actually
motions,
comma
right?
electronic or otherwise.
Oh, mine's
It's
not
red,
scratched.
but it's red, but it's
Yeah.
not stricken out. That
Yeah.
was, so, but we had that, I remember that change.
Okay, wait a minute. So you want the comma out?
No, the comma stays in,
Right.
so it should be a roll call vote, comma. Electronic or otherwise, put that in blue,
right,
shall be required for all motions.
Okay, that takes care
So,
of,
wait a minute, electronic otherwise, comma, or just electronic otherwise?
Comma, yes.
Comma. Okay. All right,
okay. And moving on to page 14. 2-4-7's scratched out, now we're on section 5, compulsory attendance, representative town meeting at town meeting, okay.
is that 3-5-1 or?
3-5-1 has a few capitalizations.
No, my question
His
is,
question is looking at this.
Oh, is it
I
the
think
real?
it's 2-5.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
2-5-1.
2-5-1 in the real world, okay? 2-8-1.
Yep,
And that was where that was originally.
okay.
Starts out with the town manager. We scratch the town engineer, we add new language, all department heads. And any other staff designated by the town manager shall attend all town meetings. The chairpersons and or their designated representatives of the select board. The planning board, the school committee, and the advisory and finance committee shall attend all town meeting sessions capitalized.
Is sessions capitalized?
sessions.
It's
No.
capitalized on mine, it doesn't have to be.
It shouldn't be, I agree.
Yeah, well,
Session should be
Sessions.
lowercase.
And then we, redline the next sentence and we catch up on the absence of any such persons, we're gonna make it plural, shall not invalidate the actions of town meeting capitalized.
Yep.
You agree with that?
Yep.
And then from here on, we're gonna add Mr. I'm
Um,
sorry, Martha, go right ahead.
We may have omitted any representative town meeting member unable to attend. In the current charter, it's 2-2-7. Page 7. And it's also in version 2406/28,
What page?
and it's in the minutes, 11-7/3.
What page are we?
Page 7. On the, 2-2-7. Right, you see that, any representative,
Original 2-2-7,
right,
original.
that sentence, I think we missed it.
Nope, you're absolutely
You
right.
sure it's on page 7?
Of
Oh,
the
in the
original
middle.
chart.
Sorry. No wonder.
Or
I
our
can't
current
find
charter.
it. I get
Yeah.
that. So what are we putting in here from what?
Same as Bill Abbott's comment.
Well, where's it going?
Well, let's find.
I stuck it after,
I,
So that was the one, the
2-5-1.
compulsory attendance.
she's absolutely right. That's exactly where it belongs.
Nope, I agree.
What was 2-2-7.
Oh. So it would be the last section of, section 5?
Nope, it goes before 2-8-1,
So we're putting in here
2-2-7.
2-2-7 from current
Chart.
charter. What's the page number?
7.
About 2-2-8.
Did we do that?
I think that's, I
That's in the
think
town
it's
clerk
in there
section.
someplace.
That's down in the town clerk section. That was moved because it was town clerk related.
This is when we just started getting some stuff.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, we did move that.
Feel comfortable? We picked up everything?
Yeah.
All right, so now that closes out, the end of section 5, and now when Mr. Abbott brought in section 6, 7, and 8 would go right here. Is that right? Everybody on the same page with that?
Yep.
And then that would close out chapter 3. And we can start chapter 4, elections. Are we all on that same page? You are caught up, but Len, I don't want to. You caught up? Okay, elections, pretty clean here to 5-1-2, this is new language. The order in which names of candidates appear on the local election ballot shall be determined by lottery, which shall be open to the public, conducted by the town clerk, should be capitalized, I'm guessing, town clerk.
Yep.
Notification of the date, time, and place of the lottery shall be made public.
Why is
What's that?
it eliminated and then repeated? Why do we have it?
Oh, do we scratch that out? Yeah, that's the one above it, scratched out, right?
You know what, I have a note to see the minutes of 4/16/24. Maybe that will, page 2.
It looks like it's word for word.
Is word for word.
Oh,
That's originally.
I can't remember.
I remember
I
we
got
had
a little flag here.
We had a discussion about it. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Got a little flag
We were
here.
trying to change it and then we decided,
we decide not?
I thought there was a debate about whether to do it by lottery and.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Mr. Donato.
I apologize for interrupting, but I spoke on that matter. I remember it very well.
Okay,
And in the fact that, you know, if I change my name to A. DiNardo, my name would be on the ballot first. So that's that's why it spoke that night to say, and that's happened in the past. If you research people have changed their name to be first on the lottery, so that first on the ballot, and that's why I had spoke about it, that we preserve the lottery system. But I recall that should be in the minutes. Thank you.
It is,
And we
It
did,
is.
but what happened was there's other language in here that was stricken that we don't have recorded as stricken. That's what's missing.
Oh, okay.
what you could do, Len, if you look at the minutes of
Yeah, I
April
have right here.
16th, okay, the page 2,
Yeah, I have them right here.
if you put that in as the stricken part, and then the blue as what we adopted.
Okay, so let's look at this, because, see, this was the way, it's confusing the way it was done. So this should be from the 4/16 minutes. Page 2. So when I look at that, there's some stuff that's stricken and there's some stuff that's not stricken. So
Yeah.
should I just put that all in and strike it all and then just, or should I try to, adds and deletes and adds and deletes?
I think it makes sense to do adds and deletes, because there is an original 5-1-2, and we are keeping
Okay.
some of it, we're changing some of it, and we're
So
eliminating.
here's what 5-1-2 for the minutes looks like. That's what you want me to do, I'll do that. I'm just asking. I want to do it right.
That's exactly what it should look like,
Okay.
yes.
So basically, you see, this is the confusing part, this, is that the ads are red underlined, the deletes are red strikes through. So when you try to read this, it's like, okay,
But,
It's your
but
challenge.
that, if somebody wants to find out how it comes out, there will be a separate document
right,
that will show.
right. So the 5-1-2 and what we're
Everything in
reviewing,
black.
that's in blue, I'm gonna remove in total.
Correct. You're gonna remove everything that says 5-1-2.
Yeah.
The things that are stricken and the things that are added, we're gonna replace that with what we agreed as a committee to do.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah,
I can do that. We have the.
I didn't want to write all that out.
No, that's fine.
I know.
Well, I mean, the good thing is Michelle has sent us these electronically, so I don't have to, I just have to bring it up and cut and paste it.
Yeah, you just have to change the font.
Yeah, I don't have my.
all right, so you content with that? Moving on to 5-1-3, that's pretty clean. We deleted Oak Plymouth, but we left town. That stays all the way the same, going on to page. Oh, sorry, doing something.
I'm a what?
The bottom of
Town
that
council.
page, yeah, the most important person in town government. Town clerk should be
Oh,
capitalized.
very good catch.
What are we talking about?
Last sentence on page 14, town clerk capitalized.
So above that,
I would also, so, yeah, 5-1-3. Town clerk and town council in the line above it.
Town council, I
Yeah.
think that's right. I'll give you that. Town council capitalized.
So let me go a little bit further. The line above that, it says solely to the voters of the town. Should that town be capitalized?
Absolutely. If it's the town, it's capitalized. If it's a town, it's not.
Okay.
And I hate to add to your
No, you're not doing it.
one sentence, probably. That should say ONE,
What? Should say what?
the very last 2 words.
Actually,
Oh, yeah.
it's actually there twice with a one sentence.
Right.
Statement and a one sentence,
Summary.
a one sentence statement and a one sentence, and the summary and one sentence. Statement, it's actually there, it keeps going on to the next.
Oh, I see
Actually,
what's the-
it goes all the way through, it's repeated a number of times.
Right,
So
oh,
wait a
I
minute.
see that.
So where you're saying the third sentence from the bottom of page 14, along with a one sentence statement describing the effect of the yes or no vote.
it
And
should,
then a one sentence statement shall be governed by section 42, blah, blah, blah.
It keeps going, and there's references to one sentence under subsection 3.
This is
and-
what, all for the advertising of a
and at
special
least
election,
one
right?
location, so in other words.
yeah, if you wanna go through that whole paragraph and just be consistent. Because it also talks about not less than 7, no more than
Oh, so
14.
you want it to be one, the word one, paren, okay.
And we've got a lot of
And
places.
there, and 7
Needs to
and
be cleaned up
14,
with parentheses.
yeah,
And just for consistency purposes. I don't think we have to change any language.
Yeah,
right.
and at least one location in the town or on the town, again, town capitalized and one. There's a lot of that.
Hang on. Was written,
You just basically, Len, that's just one of those. Check for multiple capitalizations grammar, because that's just one that we didn't make changes to. And as a result, we didn't look through it in the level of detail.
so we did everything on the bottom of page 14.
Yeah.
I think we caught most of that, right? And
Well,
then it goes over
I
the
have
top.
one thing.
What, did you miss something? Martha, what do you have?
On in the third sentence of 513, the ballot in the town of Plymouth should be black. 'Cause
We struck of.
We struck of Plymouth and mine is black, yours isn't black?
So we did,
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you want to
yeah,
put a
I have
copy
it
and
in
show
red,
that?
so that's what we wanna do. I didn't see it in the minutes.
That's just, that's a matter of being consistent because we defined town.
So that's
That
fine,
was-
now I understand.
That's,
Okay,
yeah, not in the minutes.
So let's go to the top, let me just do this now, so it's not left up to me. The select board shall know us as 7, and do the number thing. So then in the third sentence at the top of page 15, the word the town, so that's a capital T.
yeah,
The full text of.
and you got the one sentence there in line 4,
Yeah, I'm gonna do all that.
okay,
I'm gonna do the one and the one in paren. I'll put a note to just go through that. The select board shall over the summary and then one sentence that, oh, Jesus Christ. And then in the fourth sentence from the bottom of that paragraph, there's town in the middle of it. And then the town's official web,
Don't, there's town, but just before that, there's at least one location.
four lines from the bottom of the paragraph.
yeah, but right, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 2 towns that need capital.
Right,
Towns.
You want to take over for Sarah using the mentor?
Correct.
Yeah.
Towns or on the town's official website shall be. Make the same available at each polling place on the day of the election. The town again.
Yep.
May by bylaw require additional posting of public session. Subject to available funds, any other conditions, okay. So it looks like on that paragraph at the top of 15, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 towns that need to be capitalized. That's my count.
and if you go to the next one, that there are two more towns.
In section.
521,
Yeah, we haven't gotten it
okay,
We're probably gonna need to do a search and replace.
yet. Yeah, I'm gonna look for the word town and
decide.
and do it with Word, you can do it one by one. Just while we'll wait for Al to come back. What I've done is, I've gone through and all the tracking is now gone in this document. Because the tracking is what caused us a lot of aggravation, because we had 4 people tracking it. And you either did get rid of, you had to either accept or reject, and if you accepted it and it was a delete, it deleted it.
right,
Okay,
All right, let's,
now with the section 2.
well, we can't do anything until Alan gets back.
Because we don't have a
We don't have a
quorum.
quorum.
unless someone notices. I mean, we can just,
You're just gonna get yourself in
I
trouble.
am not going to go forward.
I'm not.
until we have a
that's
quorum.
fine,
Except
okay.
someone notices.
No, it is, I mean, that's an official statement, a quorum is presumed unless challenged.
That's right, at town meeting. Yeah,
But if the vice chair decides that he's not going to proceed, he is the lieutenant governor when the governor is flying off to wherever the hell the governor flies off to.
Well,
I had one
as
of my.
far as I'm concerned, until the governor is back, we're not doing anything.
When I bumped into one of my neighbors. Who saw my name in the independent because I was appointed to the CPC, and he said, what's the CPC? Well, he's from New Jersey, they don't have it. And I explained it to him, and he says, so why are you doing this? I go, Chris, this has been for me interesting beyond belief. It's like a history lesson.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, and I know we're struggling with what this town should be. But people don't realize in New England how lucky they have this kind of government, because it's open, it's wide open for everybody to see. And I thought Bill Forney,
Yeah, write about that to them, independent.
yeah.
And they shouldn't be using abbreviations. Because
We didn't do anything.
we did do it, we got all the Ts, we crossed all the Ts.
What's that?
We didn't have a forum without you, so.
Oh, geez, okay,
Page
you need to hold
15.
up the operation.
That's okay.
no, it's a good.
All right, so, you got through that paragraph, you're gonna do that on that time, yeah?
No, we-
Now on section 3.
So we've gone all the way down to
Oh.
section 3,
Section,
Two.
oh,
section 2, right?
we're changing T and,
T
the
and
two
T.
Ts in the first line in town.
Oh, I see.
52-1, town, capitalized,
Yep.
all the way over capitalized, okay? Going down the next one, we scratched out by the town clerk. The next one I have circled, 5-3-2. We changed 30 to 20 days. And I'm not gonna disrupt tonight's meeting, but I've had a few people from COPC asked to actually increase the 30 because of the write-in votes. Sometimes it takes a long time to get the answers. Who's gonna be a town meeting member, and then he gets sworn in. Any appetite to go back to that?
Well, I thought we had a problem because we needed to make sure that the town meeting members got sworn in sufficient time to make sure that then COPC had time to go ahead and do its.
I think you're right, but I think, this last election, I think was a classic example. There was a lot of write-in votes, and it took a while to get the results. I was told, I don't know if that's
How
true.
long is a while?
I don't
know.
2 days.
Is that all it is? Okay.
Yeah,
It was a couple of days.
Two separate people called me about it, just to address it. We've addressed it. No one has an appetite. You can only get sworn in, right? I guess, right? It was not a big deal, but. Okay, I wanted to bring that up.
As we had a long discussion, you can go to lots of places apparently to go and get sworn in.
right.
So I had it circled. Okay, good. So 5-3-2, there's nothing really there. That could change, then it gets, scratched out. To the bottom of page 15, we're on to page, 16, and, looking at mine, that's a clean, as long as everything's there from the existing charter, I have a clean. Page 16, there's nothing to address there.
Until, yeah, we, yeah.
Does anyone see anything?
5-6-4, we just eliminate that, which.
Yep. That puts us to the top of page 17, town-wide elected office holders. 5-7-2, we changed some numbers from 500, we reduced it to 250. And 25 respectively, we got the parentheses as well as the number written out. These are red line.
oh. In the first, should 250 be capitalized? No,
No,
No, because I want to do it everywhere, right?
no, I
We
think that
have
was
it
just, that was me
separate, yeah.
typing it, I might have just.
Then we go down to 5-7-3.
And also, there's no hyphen between 2 and 100,
Yeah, that's a good catch.
There's no.
or 50. 250, you only hyphenate from tens to,
That's right, okay, so you take the hyphens out.
Geez, I never learned that.
no.
There's also a slight typo, in that paragraph. Halfway, more than halfway down, counted from any one.
oh, space.
Yeah,
Any space 1, yes, very good.
Yeah, good one.
I like that, sort of a typo, that's the best I've
Yeah,
heard.
sort of a typo.
Yes.
it is a typo.
No,
Is that
it's-
5-7-2 will look good after that?
Yeah.
And I went to 5-7-3. The only problem I saw in 5-7-3 is, third to last sentence is a red line, but I think we need one of those words. The recall petition blanks shall. And then I go to all the way up to the, I think we need contain, right? See that?
Yeah.
Okay. Going on to 5-7-4,
You say the recall petition
should be
blank
a
shall
black.
contain
and then it's
the
stricken out
name and
all the way
office of,
over
okay.
Yep.
That's
to
it.
the.
Okay.
Then 5-7-4, we actually, take 20 and bring it to 30. So that might be what you were talking about earlier. We changed one thing,
No, we went from 20 business to 30 calendar.
30 cal. Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's the difference.
So
Very good.
that we didn't have to argue over what was business there.
Okay. That gets us down to 5-7-6. We have some as sufficient on the first sentence we've added, within 5 business days on the second sentence. And is shall serve on the fourth sentence. Anyone have any questions on 5-7-6?
Yeah, I have something. So on 5-7-6, to be consistent, should board and registrars of voters all be capitalized?
Yeah.
If we did that earlier a few minutes ago, I think you should, yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's actually 5, the one above it too, 5-7-5 that we didn't touch because it was clean.
Right. Good. Wait a second.
Okay.
Aha.
What do you got?
And then on the next sentence in that 5-7-5, we got register of voters.
Right,
So
Yeah.
Board of Registrars of Voters.
are we, 5-7-6, if the recall petition. Town clerk shall within 5 business days submit the certificates of same to the select board. Oh, and I left at the end, and shall, wait,
You
And-
shall serve.
Written notice of.
and shall serve written
Written
notice of the receipt?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What do you mean by serve?
And you let the office holder
Is
know
that
that
email?
they're in possession of the,
You're actually right, it should actually shall serve written notice of the certification to the office holder, it's ought to be recalled.
And serve written notice?
Yeah, we're serving written notice. In other
It's
words,
like when
you're
process it.
now informing the office holder. Of whom a recall has been done, that there's a certified petition. Of their recall.
Serve written notice to the office. Okay.
But what did you say about the nature of the certification or is that right? The nature of the notice?
No, I tend to agree, it's because you're serving written notice. You shouldn't be serving written notice of the receipt of the I guess it's,
She received it?
I would say it's receipt, it's not of the certificate, but of the petition to the office holder. Or a receipt of the certified petition. Because that's when you're, so you're serving something to the office holder, telling them that there is a recall petition that has now been certified as appropriate. So what you should be doing is you should be serving written notice of the receipt of a certified petition to the office holder to be recalled.
I'm not sure.
So certified petition.
I would say it's instead of the certificate of a certified petition.
But. The word certificate says that. This is what you give to this, the town clerk is providing that to the select board.
Right, right.
If
No, that's fine, no, you're absolutely right, we are calling it a saying with a certificate so stating to the select board.
and
So, yes,
just saying,
you can just say,
and
you
give
can
it
just
to
forward
the-
the certificate on and
we're
say.
way smarter than we thought we were, okay?
Right, I mean, basically. The Board of Registrars creates a certificate saying that the recall
that
petition is
there's a
official.
recall petition and
And
it's.
then the town clerk sends that certificate to the select board and at the same time serves written notice of receipt of the certificate. Not actually sending the certificate, but we notice of receipt of the certificate to the officers who are to be
Right.
recalled. Yeah, so I think it's right. I
Yep,
think it's right.
yep.
I had to read through it, kind of think it through. Okay, so we're moving
so how
on.
do we?
We're leaving it alone.
Leave it?
We're just doing some capitalization.
All right, that gets us to 5-7-7. The same thing, couple of additions being served with notice. We got 64 and we have 80 days. No more than 80 days. That ends page 17. That gets us to the top of page 18. I have this, I have an arrow here. The date of the select board's vote to call for the. You got the end of the sentence, or from. The date of the select board's vote to call for. Yeah, that's,
No, you're right, there's something missing.
I have an arrow there, but I can't remember why.
I think it's the word election could not be stricken there.
Oh, I have a line above election, yes. It's the same thing as before, we redlined just one word
So
to,
you're saying that the very first sentence on the top of 18, the word election, it
it should be
Could
included.
not be redlined, yes.
and it's not a change, we just need to keep it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, so then that brings us, if everyone's happy with that. I don't see any other clerical things, go all the way down. To
5, 7, 10.
5, 7, 10 has a red line. Any questions with that? No. 5, 7, 12 is deleted in its entirety. 5, 8, 1,
Hang on.
yeah. Comfortable?
Yep,
You just, I understand, Len, no, Len, you're absolutely right, 5, 7, 11, town. The last line of 5, 7, 11, town office.
Yeah, good catch.
It's just town, but not office.
Correct.
Okay,
I just like to count, okay?
no, that makes
So,
sense.
and then on 581, members,
Members, yeah, exactly right, good one.
and then,
And then we have in parentheses in the second line, representative town meeting members of that,
Member singular, yep.
not parentheses, quotes, I guess, should be member, capitalized, right?
Yep.
All right, good one, I went past those. And then, we have in blue 100 is the new number, down from 125, and then 250 down from 500. And that concludes 581. There could be some capitalization, I didn't look at it, oh, there's a town in
The
there.
town, there's a town in there.
Yeah.
where we at the top of page 19
Yes, top of
Page
page
19.
19, second to last line in that top paragraph.
of the town?
Yep,
Yeah, that's definitely done. Okay, and if we're in agreement that we're that concludes chapter 4. Chapter 5, town administration, town manager. 3-5-1, the very last 4 words gets representative town meeting gets capitalized and members added to it plural. Then we get down to the town manager shall, and we start to list the bullets for his responsibilities. A is directly from the existing charter. B is new language that is it new language or is it reworked language?
Yeah, no,
that we
it
did?
is.
Is it new language? Okay. The town manager may, with select board approval and subject to applicable provisions of the general or special laws, reorganize, consolidate, or abolish town agencies in whole or in part, or provide for new town
yeah,
agencies.
capitalized town.
Oh, town, good catch.
Where are we?
We're in the middle of B.
B. Oh,
B on page 19, under the town man, under section 351B,
The old D.
oh, town agency.
correct. Town agencies and right, yeah, town agencies, in 2 sections there.
Is agencies capitalized, you think?
No,
Okay, yeah, just town, okay.
So there's only one town, oh no, town agency, there's
Oh,
plural,
but it's twice.
it's
Yep.
plural and
it's in the
singular.
second line and the third line.
It's in the third line as well. When incident,
Oh, but is it's in the very last line too.
could be, yeah,
And town agency singular.
yeah, I don't have to read the whole thing if everyone's content with it, but that
Not
was
quite.
the new language.
Isn't reorganized, I don't think we need a hyphen. I think the word is reorganized.
I don't know that off the top of my head.
That's real interesting, when you do that in something like Word, the grammar check will do it, you know, sometimes
way.
it does.
The irony is, I think reorganized, no, and reorganization, yes.
Let's see.
One is a verb and one is an. A reorganization is actually an event, but it's a quasi verb and noun.
Okay, let's see, because they're happy with reorganize, let's see if they're, probably they have no students. Or, okay,
Who's they, Larry?
good point. No, it, I put in organized,
Uh-huh.
it switched it.
Yeah, that's real, but what about reorganization? Because we don't have we do, you're right, you have reorganize. I agree, that should not be hyphenated. Question is reorganization.
Is that
Which
written
is in the
down there
next line.
someplace?
It's in the scratched out line, or the red line.
Oh, it is. It's in.
No, on the third sentence, almost to the end, the right end, when an incident to any such reorganization.
Yep.
So what
That's
you're,
my question is reorganization. So under B, the second line has the word reorganize. That
Right.
should be a singular word. I
and
agree.
so the question is reorganization.
Reorganization.
So lose the hyphen in the second sentence and keep it in the third.
Well,
Well,
we're
Until
debating,
such notice.
we're debating about the
We're,
third.
we're having a, grammar.
Len, did you put those in or did the,
Well, I did
computer put
I
them
did the delete, we're waiting for some, a ruling from
Yeah.
ours.
It exists, but they seem. In one place, but everywhere else it says reorganization. I would leave the hyphen out.
in? Okay,
Okay,
Leave it out.
This is very important.
fair enough, we'll leave it out. We go on to C,
Almost debated, town meeting.
we go, yeah, that's our biggest thing we have to debate, we'll take it.
Let's hope.
D, and then the next, right after D, the second sentence, I think it's actually should be E, get rid of the R. Am I not mistaken on that? Represent the town at local, state and regional meetings. That's a bullet in itself, isn't it?
Which, I'm
Read doesn't fit. The very last, second,
oh, you're saying in D, the second sentence, the beginning, RE period, it should be deleted.
I think that should be, the R should be
Just the E.
deleted and E should stay as, with some spacing from D, and that's a whole new bullet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for some reason.
Oh.
For some reason, our guy in there for, there should be a, yeah, there should be.
Oh, I see.
Hard return after town in the line before, which should be capital, we've got to start capitalizing again. So in C, town's not capitalized, we have to do that.
Okay, hang on. Okay, I see that.
Yeah.
And then again in D,
Town.
capitalized town.
At the
By the
end.
way, I think what it was actually, it's R, it maybe R was the original one, it should be R with a strikeout.
Oh,
Okay, that's probably
maybe R
correct,
in
yeah.
red, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking it is.
Yeah.
She also has. Town,
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute, in R, in E, R,
It's the R is a strikeout.
right, but then there we should say, represent the town, so that town is capitalized. And that's fine. Now we go over to F, we'll just call it F. Forget
Yeah,
what's-
town looks correct on this one.
The town manager's control.
Got that part.
G,
town,
Town
Town
books,
books, yeah, good one.
H,
Town
town
departments
departments.
and the representative on town meeting should be capitalized in the
Yeah.
last sentence of H, right?
right, it is on mine.
Oh, it is in the other case.
Really?
No, it's not online.
and I,
And
Oh, no, I'm on H.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm talking about
Oh,
H.
It's not an H or an I.
H and I,
Right.
Really?
neither one of them
The
show.
R is not
I
capitalized.
marked up the I, but I missed the H one, but you're right, it's on both
Oh,
of them.
gosh, it is
And by the
on,
way, in I, there's also town bylaws.
yeah, but in mine it's capitalized,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
scary. But I'll circle it and check it.
All right, that gets us down to personnel, hiring and bargaining, J, that's, I didn't see anything wrong with that long paragraph of J, but there's probably some,
No, town's got.
Capitalization?
Town manager, all of that was actually good.
okay,
Well, the third sentence, the very end of the town.
yeah.
Town, oh, you're right, employees of the, I missed that one.
Section. So school department is not, town manager, town clerk. In case employee works for multi-member board or Plymouth Public Library, but the town manager shall act in accordance with the section. Town manager, 15 days. Action.
Oh, by the way, the vote of 4, you might want to put the number 4 afterwards.
Will you?
I am still in J, I am, if you look at the far right-hand side, You'll find it as you move up.
By about 15 day, yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
I see it. The same authority to veto the next one, provided.
And then you have 15 day period, the second to last sentence, you wanna put a 15 next to it to be consistent. You
Yep.
can reference 15 day period,
second to last line, yeah.
yeah,
So that hyphen should go away.
Right,
alright, that neatened up that paragraph, right? K, looks
Town.
good, oh, Tom, yeah, good catch, Tom.
Hold on a second.
Um,
And then
L.
K L town at the very end,
yeah,
yeah,
and then M.
and looks like it made it, we gotta capitalize.
Let me catch up here to see people so they can watch.
And town,
Okay, so now, now on the top of page 21, is that right?
yep,
And town, right, the very last word, town,
Okay.
oh,
that looks good.
don't see anything wrong with that, P. Nothing jumps out. Q,
town,
town, good.
At the end.
What was that, Martha?
Toward the end of the first sentence.
Yep.
Yeah,
This just helps me if you do this, because then I'll just go through and I do it and highlight it, and I don't have to.
R looks good, the last, not the last one, but the last one, that section.
Town funds.
Oh, town funds, I look at the end, you're right.
I did the same thing, I saw town account.
All right, so that gets us to the last section, well, not, I think it's the last section for the town manager, properties, facilities, and insurance.
Town.
town.
Yes. Yeah, town. Section T. That one looks all right, first glance. U. Looks all right. V.
Also,
Town.
middle line, the word town.
I'm missing on V, town.
Yeah, town, in the second.
Including the bidding.
Including the bidding, oh, town, yeah, right, for, yeah, I understand it totally. All right, that gets us out of the bullets for the town manager's responsibility. Gets us down to 6-2-1, I don't see any changes in that.
Good.
Then we have, the all new language that I believe we put in, 5-X-X. In the interest of time, I won't read it unless you'd like me to. But the third bullet, each town board, committee, or other subdivision of the town, including town meeting, shall provide the town manager and material current. Oh, a current, as current and more detailed description of its operations, including any rules, regulations, possible. I have an arrow there that I don't know why, so disregard it.
They're aware.
And, the second bullet of a town structure.
The second board of a town.
Contains as current in more detail, but maybe I just read it wrong. Disregard my arrow. All right, town departments. And redress and assistance procedures.
Think that's all good.
Looks good. Then red
line.
redlined is 100% section 8. And
This is,
that gets us down out of page 22. And quite honestly, 23 goes away, right?
Yeah, 24 goes away.
24 goes away, that gets us to the top of 26, 5, chapter 6. Everyone happy to move on to chapter 6?
Yeah.
Okay, advisory finance committee, 6-1-1, appointment and organization. The next one is advisory finance, 15 members, and then we put our own language in there, 3-year overlapping terms. The rest of that looks pretty good. Section B. COPC, and I only did this as a. I don't think we mentioned COPC till this period, should we write out the whole committee?
We should, I think since unless we define it,
That's what I mean, I don't think we've
and I
mentioned
don't
it yet.
believe we did.
No,
It's
let's
just-
look at that.
And it's definitely,
so wait a minute, we're done with advisory and finance committee?
No, we're not done with, we're in section B.
No, you're absolutely right. I think you're right. It needs to be, I think you can spell it out
The
and then,
first time, and then I think.
and
we
then
go to
define
initials,
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you're saying in that, in section B, the third sentence, I should basically put in,
Committee
you know,
of
precinct chairs.
after
And
planning.
then,
board.
and then in parentheses,
COPC.
okay, let me write this in. Yeah, that's what that's a military standard. When you spec stuff, you're supposed to define the acronym.
And I think the rest of B is, clean, C looks good. 2-12-2 hearings and reports. The only thing I have on A, the first sentence.
yeah, the
is
first-
conduct one, put in parentheses and
Yeah.
write the word one, really nitpicking. I'm on 2-12-2 A.
You
first
picked a
sentence.
lot of nits. No reason not to continue.
All right, so that's 25 is complete. 26, page 26. I didn't have,
On 26, in the new language, right at the top, we have 14, we probably want to have the number, the word written.
oh yeah, 14 days, yeah.
Were you looking at?
Third sentence down. at
Third
the
line,
top of
third
page
line at the
26.
top set, for the top paragraph.
And,
Oh, wait.
and the fourth line.
In the.
So it
fourth
says
line.
no later than 14 days.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just
And the
consistency.
same thing, and the same
Yeah.
thing in the 2 lines below it.
The 2/3 are over there, I think we wrote it, and then we did the fraction, but I'm
Hang on
not,
a second.
if you wanna do it, do it.
Yeah, and so after the second 14 days, there's a hyphen. I assume we take that out?
Right. I think we've been consistently saying advisory and spelling it out. And in the fourth line of B, you have an ampersand.
Well, we haven't gotten to the yet, that's.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry.
we're coming to it right now, that's probably the next thing. B, fourth line. There's a couple of,
Yeah.
change outs before that, not due to the fault of the proponent. May goes to shall, provided that gets, stricken in its place is unless. 2/3, I don't know if we wanna write the fraction again.
The number that I.
Yeah, we've been doing that. We'll be
Yeah.
consistent.
In attendance, vote to do, against, so.
Well, again, we get rid of to do.
Get rid of to do, we use against, yeah. And then if,
Advisory.
line 4, if the advisory and finance, get rid of the, what's the name for that term?
Ampersand. It's very important to know that.
That's, I need to know about ampersands.
All right. You have to consider the warrant article because the article, okay, so then, that last section D gets stricken,
There's also 2/3.
There's a 2/3. Give me a
Yeah.
second.
yeah,
Okay, and then
good,
section,
2-12-3, goes away and it's called at town meeting, capitalized, town meetings, it's plural.
24 PM.
And then in my
I'm touching
opinion,
my watch, sorry.
in my opinion, that's for that, rest of that, page 26, that's,
We didn't touch it.
I didn't touch it, it's coming right out of the other,
There's one other 2/3 in B.
what was that, Martha?
There's one other 2/3,
There is, okay,
Yeah, we got that, yeah.
the second
I
one.
believe Len got that.
Yeah,
Wait a minute, the bottom one right before the red, the strikeout?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry.
Malcolm.
Didn't hear.
all right, so now, that includes 26.
Nope.
Oh, we're on.
3-10-2 town bylaws, town.
Yeah. Very good. Now, the top of page 27, I think we got rid of section 11, Len, Development
Right.
Industrial Commission, that should go away,
Strike.
right?
Yes, that should be a strikeout.
Okay, section 3 zoning board of appeals. Nothing jumping out at me there, that looks like it's,
And bylaws.
No change unless I'm missing, a town, yeah.
No, he's.
3-12-2 gets a capital T.
Yep.
Okay, now that concludes chapter 6. Now we're on to chapter 7, charter created public bodies. Section 1, committee of precinct chair. I think this is the first, well, no, it's the second place. It shows up.
Yes.
So
So probably
then,
put the COPC
Yeah.
reference there again.
yeah,
At the end of the section?
No,
no,
no.
after-
Just in
Committee of
parentheses.
Precinct chairs,
Right.
parens, COPC.
COPC right after.
So
You wrote it
I
out.
would, so where we had it originally, we had it before, we should probably not include it, and we should define it here.
Okay, give me a second, let me find that.
Because the beginning of the advisory is
I
kind of
would
into
define it where we're actually creating it.
section B on page 25,
Section B 125.
yeah, third sentence down all the way in.
Oh, okay.
No, you're gonna spell it out, but not have the parens COPC.
Oh, sorry.
But here under section 1, you're gonna spell it out and then in parentheses.
Yeah, that,
Yeah,
yes, let him get back to that spot.
So
Okay.
on, just to make clear, on page 25, section B, after planning board, it's gonna say committee of precinct chair without the acronym.
Correct.
Okay.
And then when we get on page 27,
Do you want to put it at the end of the section or in the body of the text?
I would put it in the body of the text.
Okay. And the O is lowercase.
oh, when you're writing it
Doesn't
out,
Ah, I don't think so.
No, because as the acronym, we always keep that as that's just an
I like
acronym.
it though.
That would be a typographical nightmare going forward.
But yeah, but I mean, I think every time you mentioned it, it's the all is correctly. When you write out committee of precinct chairs, the O is
Yeah.
lowercase.
So the question is, once we define COPC in 7-1-1,
Could we replace it
can you
everywhere?
replace it everywhere else as COPC thereafter?
I just leave it,
You go right ahead.
you know,
Leave it. I'm
just
not
leave it.
losing
It's not,
over
yeah,
it.
not going, it just defines it, so for people to say, what's the COPC? And then, you know.
That's,
All right, so COPC, this is actually, I think it was mostly a new section, right? So that's pretty clean.
So what about in 713? A new chairperson from among the representative town meeting members, isn't it?
Members, yep, members should be capitalized.
Oh, oh, capitalized, yes, I'm sorry. Mine's plural, good, okay. Any other corrections? Or, Cal, there's a town over here on 7-1-2. Following each town election, or is it not capitalized in that case?
should be.
No, absolutely.
Okay,
No, you're right. That's nice. I am at the end of that line.
all right, so, getting down to the bottom of 27, red strikeouts. Going to page 28, the first half stricken. That brings us down to general powers and duties of, COPC, so,
Town in 7-1-4.
good one.
wait, town meeting?
Town meeting has.
Past town meeting actions, the whole thing, right?
No,
Yeah,
just
town-
town,
town
town and
meeting.
meeting.
Town and.
Meeting is capital?
Yep, meeting.
Okay, the next one. Looks good, for whatever reason, not clear.
Members in 715?
Yes,
Government,
absolutely, representative town meeting members.
yeah, okay,
And then in 716, from the floor of town meeting,
Yeah,
Mhm.
capital.
just report shall not be limited to updates on which, subcommittees appointed made by the committee, taking Kenny and the members. Okay. Michelle shall hold at least one representative night to preview audit in advance of each actual, and that's, okay, that's good.
5-17, looks good. One presentation. 718. Rounded out, page 28, everything look good there?
Good.
I didn't think you were.
Okay, top of 29, continue with COPC.
Town meeting members.
Yeah,
We have that,
Representative town meeting members, last line of the first paragraph on the top.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one, yeah.
The
Missed that
committee
one.
shall report certain appropriation town meeting. So representative
Town meeting members.
town meeting members, okay?
Seven one nine, second line, town meeting members, since we have members.
Okay, 11-1-10 looks good, 7-1-11. Look all right? I got section, Board of Health. We are ready to move on to the Board of Health, or we're still in COPC?
We created an advisory and finance committee appointment committee.
Yeah, that's the thing we did way back.
Was it, isn't there just an appointment committee or there's a specific?
You know, it's specific, because remember the whole thing about the moderator was doing it by himself and we decided,
Right.
and one of the members, so the question is, do we have to have that if we already?
It comes up
talked about it?
soon, comes up in.
Sorry, where exactly are we?
We're on page
7-1.
29, 7-1-10.
Right.
So we already, when we talk about the makeup of the committee to appoint people on the A and F.
Yep.
Do we have to have 7-1-10?
I agree, we don't.
It's, to use
Right.
Larry's word, it's duplicative.
I agree. As long as it's not.
Well, 7-1-10, I think it is a responsibility of the COPC
I know,
to
but
nominate a member.
I know, but back when we talk about.
Who's on the committee?
Who's on the committee for-
It says it will be appointed, members shall be by this body,
Right.
identified.
So one person's gonna come from the COPC.
No, no, no,
Let's
but-
tell the COPC to nominate a member.
I know, but what we're saying is, the makeup of that committee for A and F people. We
Yeah.
decided what the makeup of that committee is. One of the members is from the COPC.
Right.
So for example, there's nothing in the select board section that says the select board will appoint a member to this. Nothing in the planning board section says a planning board member will be appointed. Nothing in the school committee says a school committee member, but it's the same thing. It's once the committee is established, we know who has to do it.
So if we want, do we have to vote to remove this?
Yeah.
I would say that that's definitely the case, yes. Would you like to make a motion?
Wait, I move that we delete, 7-1-10 in its entirety.
I second.
Martha seconds it. Any discussion, further discussion? Seeing none, take a vote. On Mr. Pies' motion, all in favor? All right, unanimous. 7-1-10 is now scratched. And that's not even red line, because that's not even existing, right? It just goes away.
Yeah, so we'll go remembering.
Okay, so now, about 7-1-11. Does that have,
Is that the same thing?
same problem with that one?
But do we say the charter review committee, what is it made up?
When we have to go to that
So
comes
as a
back.
select board member is the other one. Okay.
Yeah, and no, we have a charter review committee, we created it.
So in section 7, we talk about paragraph 761, we talk about the makeup of the appointment committee.
Yeah.
7-6-1.
On page
Yeah.
31.
Yep, and it says one member of the select board, one member of the COPC, one member of the planning board, one member of the school committee.
Just to show that I don't hate one more than the other, I move that we eliminate 7-1-11 in its entirety.
And I'll
Do we
second.
have to vote on it again? Can we
We
just
do.
lump it into the other one?
No, we're voting, Martha seconded.
Hang on. Motion second. Then, no, so.
So just being devil's advocate, I'm on the committee of precinct chairs.
Yeah.
What do we get? Do we get a phone call from somebody that the committee's getting together and they send, please send a member?
Well, I think what we've sort of established is this is a standing committee. It can be changed as you will point out. This is a standing committee that exists. So when a member of advisory and finance drops off, then the committee members are notified that it's dropped off, that you need to get together and advertise a position and do this. So it's not,
Yeah, I mean, if there's a call to form another review committee,
I wouldn't say that's a call for, I would say it's a standing committee.
because the pushback on this is gonna be time. So now you have to
That's,
wait.
that's why I'm saying you have a committee that exists. So the pushback is just simply. We have.
Vacancy has just been
There you
created.
go, okay. We're sending the advertisement out.
Okay,
So is it
2
like-
weeks, you're gonna meet, and in 2 weeks, you're gonna schedule a meeting. To go through these, we're gonna go through these, we're gonna do our query check, and then you're gonna decide, you're gonna hear from these people, and then you're gonna vote.
Historically, the secretary to the select board has kept the multi-appointment committees. And has informed those committees when a vacancy occurs.
okay. I have no objection to taking it up. I just didn't wanna add, now CRPC has to meet and designate a person.
When we get to that committee, maybe we need to look at that just to make sure that we establish that it is a standing committee. Because I think we say there shall be a committee.
Every 5 years.
okay, are we gonna vote to remove
That's shorter.
7111 on page 29?
Wait a second, 7111 community.
That's what we have a motion on the floor.
Yeah,
It might be under,
yeah,
So if you look under 761 of the Charter Review Committee, it talks about how it's made up. It doesn't say anything about,
yeah, that's a charter review committee, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're working on now.
Yeah,
We're
that's
rid of
right.
the other one,
You
yeah.
know, that there's no rush there because it's happening every 5 years.
Right, I'm sorry. My argument would have been better served in 7110. Yeah. okay,
Yes.
right.
here, right, so we have a vote on the floor to remove 7111.
Yeah.
And a second. We had.
And then we have a
Had
motion
a
and a second.
discussion, so I'll take the vote at this time. All in favor? Unanimous, so those two, go away. All right,
Okay.
so we don't worry about any capitalization on those, those are gone. Now we're down to the Board of Health. Is everyone comfortable moving on to the Board of Health? I don't see,
Oh, so-
it's pretty clean on the Board of Health. I don't see any additions. Now we're on Open Space Committee.
no, 372. The
Town
one-
bylaws, good one. Okay, let's go to, Open Space Committee. I have a dot next to that. What was it, Brendan? Nothing jumps out at me. Anything see anything in open space that needs capitalization?
No,
Okay. That concludes 29. Page 30, Land Use and Acquisition Committee. Anybody see anything in here that,
Those changes are consistent.
Yeah, I think we've been using the
shall be,
Oxford comma, so. After agricultural commission in the next to last line.
Yep, comma, right
After
there.
Amazon.
okay? All right, so everybody's happy with 3-14-9, moving on to the building committee, section 5,
Just gonna be.
that looks clean and neat, right?
I'm just gonna
Oh,
go
yeah.
down to there's a hyphen after 5, and I don't know that we haven't done that in any other one.
who are you talking about?
Oh,
Section
between
5.
section,
Oh,
yeah.
that's probably me, and typo left over.
I know.
And you have all the numbers in there without,
316-1, I need some work, Len, I think that's what you're talking about. It's just some parentheses and numbers and written numbers.
Number words.
And 316.2, I see in the second line town.
Yeah, before we get there, next to the last line. In
School committee,
building committee, yeah, after school committee, there should be a comma.
should school committee be capitalized or not?
No, we have,
Okay,
haven't we? No, school department.
School department, we do, but.
Okay.
No, we didn't.
No, school department, school committee actually should be, because they're
Yeah, I
they're
would think so
elected.
too.
Right there, we would put, he wants the comma, you want school committee to be capitalized.
Yes,
And then all those numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I said add number word, but you're right,
and then you're right, 316-2, town manager, both.
representative town meeting, where are you?
so we got
316
town
West
managers in the first line,
and then
second line town department,
Just town.
town gets there.
What about building committee in the first sentence of 316.2?
Yeah, that's true.
We can do that also for 316.1. Building committee should get capitalized, right?
Yeah, they're a body, we have said all those.
in the very first sentence.
And then on 316.2.
And planning board on the next line of
Yeah.
316.1.
Right,
Oh, good point, thank you, good catch, Michelle.
And then,
Representative town meeting, building committee, all down the last couple of sentences
Right.
of 316.2.
see that one?
No, 316 I've up the town departments and reading them.
Oh, okay.
Where were you, did you guys, are you at them?
Where'd you end up?
Yeah,
School committee on 316.2, is that should be capitalized or
Yeah.
applicable?
yep,
Whereas wherever the work is authorized by the representative town meeting.
Right
That
there.
has to be capitalized.
Yeah.
As well as building committee after
Building
that.
committee. Shall be responsible for the oversight of all related thereto, including site plan, drawing, I think that's it.
All right, 316.3, that one, right? Town manager, yeah. Thought we were gonna escape that one.
Town and manager,
I believe so, yeah, that's the position they were talking about.
okay.
All right, if we're caught up with all that clerical or grammatical, I guess, section 6, precinct advisory committee, this is all new as well. 7-6-1, and every year ending in a 1, that looks good, this shall be appointed a precinct advisory committee of 11 members.
You
5,
need,
the
yeah,
numbers.
need numbers.
yeah,
Word
you got
numbers.
numbers, parentheses, yeah, good one. 5 of whom shall be appointed by the select board and 5 of whom shall be appointed by the COPC, so we'll use that again, good, okay. The 11th, parentheses 11,
shouldn't there be
Member.
a TH
I'm sorry,
11th?
Yeah, it should be a
The,
TH.
the
even with
numbers
number.
with a TH,
oh, even with the number, okay,
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
good catch, 11th member
just like we do 2/3.
shall be the town,
So I didn't do RD,
Yeah, that's-
2/3, should I be putting 2/3 RD? Okay, give me a second,
Actually, you know what, no, for
No, that's-
fractions, you know, for fractions,
yeah, this is different, okay,
this is different because it's 11th, but.
okay, I got it.
762, no two,
Two.
numbers. Two, yeah, should be the number 2, in parentheses along with that.
Mhm.
Shall be from the same precinct, except in the event that the town clerk is a resident of the town, another resident from their precinct may be appointed. Think we're good, 763. Okay, and that gets us to, top of page 31. Show one or more public hearings, should be, one, volume number 1. Parentheses.
Where are we?
Top of page 31, the last little bit of precinct advisory committee. The end of the first
The
sentence.
number 1 in parentheses after 1.
Okay, section 7, charter review committee.
There's 5.
Word 5 in parentheses.
Yeah, at least once every 5 years, a charter review committee, that's all existing language. The moderator, who should serve as chairperson, we say?
Yeah.
One, in the parentheses, one that's already been corrected, member of the select board, one. And one, member of the committee of precinct chairs, one and one is all right for the planning board, capitalized. And one of the school committee capitalized, that looks
So
good.
that's a change from what we had when we were appointed. Cause then it was only 3
Correct.
days. This is consistent with what we did for the A and F committee,
Correct.
to have it be
Yes.
more.
Yeah. Charter review committee shall be made up of 9 members, we agree to that, who shall be residents of the town, in addition to charter review committee, appointment committee may. Appoint up to 2, we gotta put 2 in parentheses. And put the number 2, or the written out 2 somewhere.
Yep.
Should act as regular member, if the regular member is unable to act as a result of an absence or conflict of interest.
Yeah, you got that too,
Yeah,
okay.
Chapter 8, operation of town boards, commissions, and committees, general provisions.
The
6.1.1, we got 30 days, oh, yeah,
Word 30.
yeah. We got parenthesized 30s, add the word, got the first sentence, we got to capitalize town. We already did the town in the 4th sentence, and the 5th, town clerk is right. The rest of it looks pretty good, anyone see anything, good or bad? Moving on to 6-2-2.
Boards should be pluralized.
All
multi-member
boards.
boards.
Boards, commissions, and committees. No, oh, sorry, no, it's not. All multi-member board, commission, and committee appointments, so appointments is plural.
Okay,
we
I
take out
think it's the Oxford comma though there.
at the end of appointments.
Now, after commission, board, comma, commission,
Oh,
comma, and committee.
that's what the Oxford comment.
Yes, it is. It's putting the comma in before the end.
and then there's towards the end of that, paragraph, there's a couple of numbers that
Hang
need to
on,
be addressed.
hang on.
Oh, jump before that?
Under this charter should be capitalized C.
What are we talking about?
6-2-2.
Second sentence first, letter,
Second
two
line.
capital. Oh, second, you're right, second line. Shall be for a specific term. Then if you go all the way down, there's a 12-month period and a 30%.
You might wanna, for the 30%, you might wanna just say 30 and a percent sign. Maybe, or not.
So I have to ask you a question about this. I don't mean to belabor this point, but I'm on a committee where a person was appointed last December. And basically came to one meeting, doesn't tell us she's not coming, she's just dropped off. So we've had to wait a year to remove her. And I'm saying her because it's a she, not because I'm picking on women. So the question is, this allows that it has to have a year of non-attendance, that's what this says.
I understand that there are 2 ways of removing someone from a committee. This is one of them, and the second one is whoever appoints can unappoint.
Yeah, that's written in there.
So if
That's the
this is
next
a
line.
select board appointment, then,
You report to the
I
select
see.
board, this
Sorry.
committee member is not coming,
yeah,
they
So we
contact,
would have to go to the select board and ask him to remove that person.
yeah.
correct.
So you're saying, so back to what you're saying, we should change the 30% to the actual symbol instead of the word?
Or
Yeah, I mean-
actually, I actually am familiar with writing 30% as THIRTI, RTY, and then putting 30% as a new. It's a new, so I would actually spell 30.
What did you just spell? I get it. Oh, you're saying spell out the word 30.
Spell out the word 30 and then put 30%. The numeral and the percentage symbol.
And take out the word percent and put,
Nope, don't take out the word percent.
In the parentheses, just put 30% sign.
okay.
Can we leave 12-month?
And then you leave the word percent there?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
no, 12, if you're gonna
month,
put
yeah.
12 in there, spell it out too.
Okay,
So there's a hyphen between 12 and month. We get rid of that?
Get rid of the hyphen.
Okay, that brings us, if everybody's caught up, that brings us to page 32, chapter 9, general provisions. We've got a red line, and then we have, there must be existing language, we haven't touched much of it, I think we've renumbered the sections only.
Good, that's good, right?
I hate to, if you can, I think there's a line space after 7-2-1.
Yeah, it's, yeah, I'm gonna fix, I've been trying to fix that kind of.
Pagination, actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically the line spacing in paragraph, this is 1.5. Don't tell me what it is. I tried, some of it has been hard to fix, I don't know why, I think it's just historically where it came from. All right,
With that,
we did it.
is there anything that remained on your list, Martha, that we didn't address?
No.
All right,
Well,
my list was complete.
other one to go.
As long as it happens.
I can't believe we got
By the
this.
way, I hate putting in spelled out.
9-3-1
What'd you find?
and votes of the town meeting.
Yeah. We know what to do with, we both in town meeting this capital.
Yeah, we're getting punchy. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
That is.
Nice job.
Very good. Great job.
Well, it's so much easier with a group.
It certainly does. So. What do we do?
So that, and we went over it grammatically, and, is everyone happy with it as a document as much as you've read it, or do you wanna? Is there anything glaring that we have to address? Because if that's the case, then, we can start transitioning over to the articles and be ready, for July 30th. There was a question that was brought up today, and I apologize, I did not call the town council, but do we have to, as a committee, vote on the, article language?
No. I mean, you would. My understanding is what you're gonna do is you're gonna go. And we thank you for this, to the Advisory and Finance Committee. And you're going to say. This is what I want. And the Advisory and Finance Committee will write up. You know, they're the ones who responded, they're the ones who are making the motion. You can provide, you know, you're gonna provide this. And you're going to say it's our preference. And if I remember correctly, that we're gonna have one motion for changing the order. And then one motion per chapter. And if they don't like that, that's up to them, you know, then they can do it, but I mean, basically, they're not, I don't see why they would get in the way of that, but yeah, I don't think you have to write up the specific language of the article.
Okay,
Suggestion was made that we consider doing an executive summary. Maybe highlighting per chapter the substantive, at least the significant substantive changes. So we'll indicate in each chapter there are grammatical changes, etc. In some, there are some organizational changes, etc. But with respect to but the major changes in this chapter are as follows. So that way, for those people who are less diligent in their reading or get completely mind numb trying to read through this charter 100 times, they will have something that they can read through and say, all right, this is the one I want to focus on, or these are the ones I want to focus on, and these others, I appreciate you made these changes, I don't care.
Right.
So I would certainly suggest that if we're going to do that, we should at least circulate that amongst the committee and have the committee give its final, but that's something that, again, is not necessarily a document that'll be submitted as part of the articles, but rather a summary for town meeting. Right. So it's not something we need to get done before creating articles going there, but rather that something we do want to have in advance of the caucuses and presentation night, and of course.
Is Steve Neerman still chair?
Mr. Newman is still chair, my
So I'll reach out to him.
So reach out to him and reach out to. Nice, Ms. White, Jeanette. Because she puts it all together, so talk to her about what it is that she needs from you.
Yep, I'll give her a call tomorrow. Now, is, the warrant opens 2 weeks from tonight, 2 weeks from today.
Don't
30.
take that too seriously, just start doing it right
No, I'll
now.
do it right away, but do we wanna meet between now and then for any finish up, housekeeping items, any business that we wanna?
Well, why don't we tentatively schedule a meeting for 2 weeks from now, just so we have it on our calendars? In case other things come up, and obviously we'll have we'll have the document circulated unless there's something that's particularly important. We can always cancel the meeting.
Yeah, we can cancel the meeting if.
Or
everything-
never announce the meeting, you know, let's just say as a group, we're not gonna go forward,
This says my wife has a haircut that day, so.
but. Well,
Oh, geez, okay, let's change the date.
change the date, nonsense, I want her to come in and show the haircut.
So we're not gonna meet on the 23rd.
We are not going to meet on the 23rd.
But
Do you see it, does anyone see a need to meet a week from tonight? Martha?
Well, I think we should follow up on Steve's suggestion of a major changes document or
Well, executive summary.
that, or,
Yeah.
Summary.
Executive
Yeah,
summary.
but we don't
and I
need,
also.
we don't need that for the warrant.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we might discuss it in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
And the other thing is, I think we should update our charter webpage because it doesn't indicate, or it didn't when I last looked over a week ago, who the new officers are.
Oh, okay.
And more important, well, just as important, I think we should add our draft that we just finished.
Oh, without a doubt, that's a great point. Yeah, let's do
Because
that.
we didn't, over a week ago, have any drafts. And so I think it's time for us to do that,
So,
because people are asking me about it.
right. So Michelle and I, after the meeting, will talk and figure out how this is gonna get incorporated. And then that becomes the document that is gonna go to town meeting. But I will give it to you guys to just do one more, another set of eyes on it. By me marking it up, it gives me a way to go and check off on things that I do as opposed to trying to do it while we were talking. I think that's gets you in trouble. And I hope we will do that in the next few days. Cause it's mainly just,
Plus, it gives the community, again, if we do
Right.
that again.
yeah, I wanna get it out there.
It gives the community, because obviously, if
Yeah,
Mr.
we-
Abbott was able to identify things, and that was,
Right.
that was very, very helpful
Yeah.
for this. We do, obviously, going through this, it's the forest through the trees after with the audience.
I mean, Michelle's listening, she can fix the website, and I will work with her and I will figure out how quickly we can get this thing done and out to you guys for one more cursory look. And, hopefully I won't miss anything, but we'll go through it, I'll look at all the town and all that number, it's just tedious work, but we'll get it done.
so, Mr. Chairman, did Amy Adams not come to the meeting because you didn't invite her?
Who? Who didn't come?
Amy Adams.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've been thinking about her the whole night, you've been sitting
I
there.
mean, this is boring, she's cute.
Is she in town overnight? Are they gonna film again tomorrow?
Well, why don't we go through where she's staying?
I don't believe so, because the announcement was only for closing
one day.
today.
Well, my guess is she's not staying at a hotel in Plymouth. She's probably
Yeah.
back at the Four
Probably back
Seasons
in Boston,
or the
yeah.
Ritz in Boston.
Do we need to officially adjourn?
Well, just quickly before we do, just as food for thought, what does the committee wanna do as far as going out to caucuses or presenting a town meeting? Do we wanna do it as a group? Did everybody take a section? Do we wanna have one designated spokesperson?
Can we
What's
talk
the-
about
what's the
that in
pleasure?
2 weeks?
Oh, you want to come on 2 weeks?
I think that's a
But just think about
Another agenda item that I
Just
think.
think
is
about
very
what,
appropriate.
I'm coming from the thing where I'd like everyone to participate,
I understand.
but whatever you wanna do, think about it. Oh, Martha wants to go? All right,
Oh.
that's good.
Well,
All right.
I'm just kidding,
I
Mark.
anyone
figured
want-
that kind of conversation.
Motion to
I
adjourn.
know we're much better at it.
Appropriate.
9 o'clock on the dot.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor.
Nice job. Thank you for tonight. Getting through that tonight.